Alrighty. It looks like everything is copacetic. Very nice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This is not our usual night, but you know what? It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I was given pseudo-incentive to do this sooner than I had planned, so you know what? May as well lean back in our chair and have fun with something a little different, right? So, to that end, we're gonna get ourselves into trouble in Mario Kart. Those of you unfamiliar with the channel, well, welcome to the multiplayer community night, where occasionally I decide, okay, you know what? Seeing you yell at me in chat clearly isn't masochistic enough. I need to have you yell at me in real life and prove that I'm not that much of a game journalist, at least according to your standards. So, guess it's time to find out if I can actually hack it, right? At some point the brother might join us via LAN, but we'll see what happens. Or not necessarily via LAN. I might have to switch out and do two-player, because I think he prefers using the single Joy-Con, actually, because he's weird like that. Still, we'll see if he joins us at some point this evening, although I believe he has business to attend to tonight. At least for part of it. So, let us go ahead and jump right in. So, I guess now we need to do audio check. Well, I guess that tells me audio levels for that. Okay.
So, we constantly call you a game journalist, eh?
You do call me that. I dispute that term. I feel like I've been doing quite well in the shooter I dug out a while back.
I think the issue with the last time when we had the lag, I think it's because I was hosting. Let's try you hosting this time.
Alright, let me set that up. Guess it gives me an
last time By the way, did you see the post about what I was getting? I got it. Games I got?
A bunch of older games, right?
Yeah, I got... Let's see. I have two of them right here.
Showing the room idea is a terrible idea, isn't it? Let's do it anyway.
Ratchet & Clank, Going Commando, Ratchet & Clank 1, Ratchet Deadlocked, and Tekken 3.
So, a few... Well, I'm trying to remember where Ratchet & Clank falls. Is it Collectathon?
It's a Sony franchise.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of the genre. Is it third-person platformer? Collectathon?
It's a platformer, kind of platformer shooter hybrid sort of thing. It's odd.
Alright then.
It's a platformer, but you have a lot of guns.
Fair enough. And then Tekken I'm well familiar with.
And a retro-futuristic aesthetic. At least for the first early games.
Alrighty, so let's see. Is that everyone who can jump in as of right now? Let's see. Looks like it. Then we got another person being very quiet. As always.
Hi, Lou.
He's probably around people and doesn't want... Oh, never mind. This is where someone barges in on him, right? We'll see what happens. Either way, we can go ahead and go around. Let's see. No teams, normal items. Yeah, we'll just do something normal, quote-unquote, for now.
To start with, anyway.
Yep. I wonder if it's possible to ban that particular track.
No idea. I don't think you can ban tracks.
I'd be surprised.
I don't think you... I don't know if you can.
Whoops. That's not what I meant to click. I guess we're going this track for my choice. Whoops. Meant to click the one next to it.
On stream.
Yep, as expected.
Oh well, I picked this one.
Well, I messed up my click, so we'll see what happens. Cool.
Aww.
You will find a way to live, you silly person.
Baby Park is alright, it's good. It's
a fun track, but I don't want to do it all the time.
Don't worry, we'll only do it a third of the time. So how have you all been lately?
I love gold!
It's alright, like, day's been like the same as usual.
Probably swap out, but I wanted to use my gold card for at least once. I like having gold.
There's gold in them hills.
Damn, I forgot how to play this.
Good, I'll at least win the first... Okay, maybe I won't win the first race then. Excuse me while I... Oh, damn it, you scum!
I've been playing
I had
this game
even
on and off for the
used
past
a
couple
mushroom
days.
too. I was right on your tail, damn it.
My birthday is coming up soon.
Happy early birthday. Ah,
Yeah,
damn
it's
it.
on Monday, August 5th.
Okay, gonna be one of those nights. That was
I'm gonna
much
go
more
get-
forgiving than
I'm
I
gonna crab
expected.
on that. I'm getting seafood on that day.
What kind of seafood?
Crab legs.
Ooh,
Sorry, what was that?
Crab legs.
I'm not sure I fully heard that. Hang on, where are the
Crab
other...
legs.
Hang on, did I not include NPCs for this?
I don't think
Oh,
you
I think you
did.
did.
Whoops.
Oh well.
I'll have to change that next time around.
You have to do a 4-cup race where you have to exit out early.
Well, you think it's worth exiting out? Because it's a lot more fun with the AI are pestering you the whole way down.
Yes, it is.
Alright, we'll wrap
let's
this race
take-
up and then restart the lobby.
Okay, restart the lobby. Got it.
did my controllers die on me? Oh no,
Ah, heck.
they're not connecting.
Huh?
By the way, I think you might like some of the Dragon Quest music if you heard it in context of game.
Yeah, that's usually how it works for me.
My controllers,
Oh, wait.
oh no.
Okay, did you hear about the history of Orion and its many houses?
The what?
Orion.
Hang on, I need to turn you up, apparently. I'm probably not going to win this race anyway. Let me... Oh, I've got you boosted all the way. Let me turn up my speakers then.
I have a headset on.
Alright, let's see if that makes a difference.
Do I sound better?
No, it's not... Well, it's not an issue of audio quality. I just needed to turn up speakers on my end. So, what were you saying?
Yeah. You know Orion? Orion?
What, you mean the Xenoblade Nation?
Yeah. Did you hear about the the 2 houses that it had?
What do you mean by 2 houses?
The 2 rival factions.
I'm not sure I understand that part.
The,
So,
in the history
it seemed
of
like there
Orion
are-
that you can do with when you add an E in Heart to Heart. If you pick the other option, the history of Raya, it says that one of the houses may still live on. One of the factions that was killed off may have.
Oh, that's what you mean.
error
I
in-
thought you were referring to something else.
No, yeah. Did you watch both ends of the Heart to Hearts?
I have not.
Okay, I guess we're.
Well, I watched all the ones that I had seen prior, or at least tried to. I don't think I went back and looked at the remainder, though.
The alternate takes.
Yeah. I don't think I looked at all of those. Maybe I should make that as a quote final video, even though the quote final video has been recorded.
You can just watch them online. I know that.
That is true.
I like Cosmos and Shiva's one with the post battle dialogue.
I did not encounter that because I was in Bringer of Chaos. I needed to take things very seriously.
Yes, but that one is funny.
Yeah, after a while I basically said, okay, Zeke, you're just gonna constantly have Zenobia and Corvin out, and that's just gonna be the way things are.
Yeah, I
Forever.
I do like this one. Cosmos is really good too. I remember hearing.
Cosmos is really good. I just made the mistake of putting her on Nia and felt lazy about moving her.
I will say, by the way, you find you most ravishing Cosmos searching database. Suggested word revision. Badass.
Yeah.
It's in Cosmos. It's like
I am sensing
completely monotone voice.
a degree of favoritism in your favorite blade.
Actually, I don't. I think my favorite blade is. I like Cosmos for many reasons, but I don't have her. I still haven't gotten her.
How do you not have her?
Bad luck.
I mean, to be fair, it took me a really long time to get Petroka. That was the one that took me for frickin' ever.
Yeah.
Because what ended up happening is
I-
I literally burned all of Tora's experience at one point just to get a legendary core crystals, and I still failed.
I juiced down Nia mostly. I juiced down Nia all the way once, and I didn't have all of them at the time anyway, so. I juiced Nia down, and basically what I do is I go fight the Raging Arden.
Yep. There are ways to build up experience fast, and that is what I did to make sure I could get through.
Make sure, basically, full burst an enemy.
Yeah, I think I just stopped by the what was it, the Kuradil? Whatever that thing is. I just drilled down to a science how to kill that thing effectively.
I use custom difficulty, which is kind of neat to have.
But then again, I was also gunning for skill points, which I needed a lot of, my god.
Get in the hidden affinity.
Well, I needed to max out the driver affinity chart if I wanted to be in any way effective, so... Well, partially effective anyway.
Xenoblade 2 was actually not there at launch. But that is in nothing.
Yeah, I imagine not, since it only shows up in New Game Plus, which also wasn't there at launch.
Just like that. Yeah. All that
Hell.
was added much
Well, I went
later.
with llama.
So it's essentially a massive... So that's why you can do it. Bring your chaos. It didn't seem too hard at the beginning, but then once they actually start... The fights actually start getting hard.
Yeah, although I also made the mistake of not being max level at the start. Jumping, well, full power anyway, relative to what I had.
Imagine doing that from New Game, like, bring your chaos...
I've seen videos of someone try to do it. It looks brutal. Short version, Corvin is your friend and your only friend. That was part of the problem I was having, is that, oh, hang on, I'm trying to do this at the starting level. I mean, sure, I've got some blade affinity built up, but, Corvin's on Zeke. I don't have Zeke right now. I'm in trouble.
Zeke doesn't show up till chapter 4.
Yep, and he had all my good blades. Well, I think Zenobia was the only one. Well, let's see. Who did he have? So Zenobia was on Rex.
Zeke is fun, but he's also... I like Zeke's personality because I like to... By the way, have you listened to any more of the music? You said you would probably listen to some on your own time.
Yeah.
What do you think of it more now?
Honestly, my opinion hasn't changed all that much. A lot of the battle music, for whatever reason, didn't really click for me.
Even though it is the style you really do like.
That's what's weird about it, is that I should like it, but I think part of the problem is that it is association, because it's at a point where, let's be honest, the combat is the weakest part of Xenoblade 2.
Most people actually say it's the strongest.
I disagree. The world building is the strongest.
Really like 2's combat. A lot of people like 2's combat more than 1. You have the opposite opinion of most people I talk to.
The problem is that the interface doesn't do a good job at supporting what the combat's trying to do. That is my big gripe with it.
If it wasn't for the interface, it'd probably be a lot higher.
Yes. Because the problem is that if I have to go guide hunting in order to fill out a blade affinity chart, you have failed as a UI designer.
Yeah. Partly, I think it's because they lost their UI designer halfway through.
Yes, that sucks. Hopefully the third game will prove to be better when I find time for it.
Yes, it is fixed much more in the...
Well, I mean, the first game was solid.
X has sort of an opposite problem of 2's of UI.
Well, I mean, the definitive edition was solid, so...
Xenoblade X's UI, it is like so small that when you're playing on a 4K screen, the text is so goddamn tiny.
Yeah.
And hey, we're back at Baby Kart.
Yeah, unfortunate. What can you do? But complain bitterly at the literal child who brought this upon us.
Yeah, I don't mind it occasionally, but I don't want to race on this every track.
It'll be every third knowing our luck, or every half. I mean, you've seen my luck.
By the way... By the way, if you're gonna... What are you thinking of, what is the next game after what's currently going on?
Well, I may as well talk about my plans more generally, even if it's a little early for that. Short version, I am dialing back on how much I'm worrying about, well, the short-term streams, because I'm gonna have to deal with the schedule change soon at work, and damn it. Well, nice knowing you, boys.
Blue shell.
Freaking blue shell. I'm still in first, so I don't care. Nope, I have a red. But I guess the short version is, because I'm gonna have to deal with this with an IRL schedule change, I'm gonna be dialing back on streaming a little bit once Golden Sun is done. So I think I made a community. Actually, they'll finish up around the same time, because if it turns out the way I expect, what'll happen is we will be wrapped up with Shadow Warrior within 2 streams, and damn it, do I win anyway? Cool. So, what'll happen is we'll be wrapped up in Shadow Warrior in 2 streams based on what I suspect is left. And I know for a fact that Golden Sun is going to take 3 videos because...
you suddenly got a lot lower in volume.
I got lower in volume? Everything looks fine on my end.
Oh, I think my headset hit the volume down a little lower.
Convenient. So, I guess then, short version, Golden Sun and Shadow Warrior are going to finish about the same time. Shadow Warrior, I'm anticipating, will finish in 2. And then Golden Sun will finish in 3 because I made the decision to record the remainder of that offline, as I wanted to go after the remaining Jin, and I figured that it would be a bit scattershot, and ended up being the case for a few of them. So because of that, I figured, okay, record it offline, just spend the next 3 weeks focusing your editing efforts on this alone. So, yeah. That's how it turned out.
If you want a short game, I can recommend Pikmin. Pikmin 1 is quite short.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that because I'm expecting a shakeup, I'm expecting a schedule change starting in a little over a week. Starting on the 24th, I'm going to be doing a longer-term game. And it's effectively going to be...
Wait, 3? No.
You wish.
No. Yes, I do.
Yes, you very much wish. I know that. Ah, too early. Damn it. I haven't messed that up in years. But I do have a longer game planned.
Strategy?
You will see what I have in mind. You will like it. That is all I will say. Still, I'll start the shorter game streams back up once that we're further along. Well, once that my schedule is stabilized or I've gotten used to it. Because I'm gonna lose a night that I usually dedicate to editing, so, wow.
Is it a JRPG or a tactics game?
It is a something.
I'm just asking, can I try and guess?
You can guess.
If I get it right, will you tell me?
Maybe. Let me put it this way. I announce the literal last seconds of the Golden Sun playthrough, you will know for certain. Let me put it that way.
Golden Sun 2?
That would be way too obvious. Honestly, after playing it as a Let's Play for the last week or so, I think it probably would be better served that way anyway. Even if it'll be a decent amount of editing work. And more to the point, it'll mean I can give it more attention.
Golden Sun 2 is actually picked up like right after the first game because it's like, it was originally meant to be one game, but it got split.
Yes, I noticed that. The fact that we only visited 2 lighthouses, and the fact that, hang on, there's all this stuff that they left hanging, isn't there?
Yes.
Nope, I had a speaker. Screw you.
Reminds me of Trails in the Sky. The game was so big that they had to like split it in 2. Like there is more dialogue in that there are like combining all the Harry Potter books and Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Oh, that was terrible timing for a zap.
Did you hear what I said about how much dialogue is in
the
Trails game?
I heard.
That's a lot of fucking dialogue.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, those games are known as Falcon games are long.
Damn it.
Very long.
Well, Yoshi's about to get ahead of me.
If you don't, you may need to redo a refresher when you start a new game if you haven't played it.
I guess we'll find out, won't we? Hey, don't steal my crap!
Also, if you do those, read the in-game newspapers.
What, they give you tidbits and whatnot?
They give, like, they give you basically more info, stuff of, basically, the media covered your events that you were covering.
Well, I play CRPGs, I'm used to reading.
Yeah. There are in-game books you can read. There's an entire side. There's tons of side quests based on fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's a JRPG trend. Just fishing.
Yeah, well, video game industry, if we could all just collectively agree to rip off Stardew Valley's fishing minigame and never do anything else, please and thank you.
Oh, we've been doing. Well, the fishing was a big thing in JRPG before Stardew Valley.
I don't care. Stardew Valley is the best. Everybody else sucks.
Eh.
Huh, didn't expect that to go.
By the way,
Can we all choose like Baby Park or something?
you're not getting Sonic X Shadow Generations on PC because it has the Nuvo.
Yeah. Although here's another thing that'll make things fun.
And they delisted the original.
I have the original. I'm half tempted to play the original out of protest.
I
That'd
have
be fun,
expect someone
actually.
to make a mod of the original that will just put Shadow X Generations in it.
That's how you get DMCA'd.
It's also Sonic, so I'm not surprised if people are more willing to do it than they would with Nintendo.
Oh, they're definitely more willing to do it, but that's also how you get DMCA'd. To be fair, Sega isn't as aggressive, but still. Aw, Inkling hit you before I could.
I think part of the you know, Nintendo is very DMCA heavy, but they are people like you do realize they are less DMCA happy with Pokemon. Did you notice that?
Well, they've been less DMCA happy lately in general. They've only been
They
really
go
getting mad
after-
at mods lately.
Mods and the ROM sites.
Yeah. And to be fair, the legality around ROMs is not at all settled.
Yeah.
I bought
can
this
honestly-
like platinum. I bought like
My
a Pokemon
opinion
Platinum machine from Amazon.
My opinion is
It's fake, but
Nintendo,
looks good.
Oh boy.
people complain about Nintendo not cutting their prices. They hear that a lot.
Well, you have to know where to look. And you have to be willing to for just a 20% here and there. Although the problem is you're
I
dealing with
think
PC gamers who are used to Steam as well. Because the whole benefit of Steam was that, hey, you can sell them directly, and because you're not having to deal with the manufacturing costs, you can give deals all the time. Steam effectively killed the used game market.
Yeah. Which I think part of the reason why Nintendo doesn't they are on top, they can afford to do this. Like what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, I've heard one person describe it as Nintendo existing in a parallel universe that actually makes profit.
Yeah, that's Nintendo, but they live in a in terms of gaming in the gaming industry, they live in a parallel universe.
Yeah, they do their own thing, and you know what? Ah, damn it, am I about to lose because of Inkling pulling ahead at the last second? Yes, I am. She even had a red shell, so I couldn't nail her, even if I had landed that shot.
Yeah.
Still,
Nintendo basically decided after the 6th generation of gaming to say, screw you guys, we're doing our own thing.
yeah. I mean, it's worked so far. Hiccups
They
like
only
the
have
Wii U
one-
notwithstanding.
Wii U is like the one exception to their not making great.
Well, Virtual Boy as
They-
well. There are experiments they have made that were terrible ideas, but...
It's more so, but they have like such a bankroll of backroll chest that they can afford the occasional failure.
Oh yeah, they have a war chest. They have a very deep war chest. There's a reason why they can afford to just sit on games. I remember the Salt on everywhere when they didn't announce another Fire Emblem at the last Direct.
And also,
Salt in few places
probably
anyway.
just, like, they basically said, now's not a good time.
Honestly, I'm not
They
sure.
said,
Well, the problem is they need people to forget that Engage exists, and I'm fully intending to try and burn that video down over the course of next year. Oh man. I am so looking forward to talking about that game.
I wonder if they're going to. By the way, I wonder if you could compare Xenoblade 2's like sillier moments to Engage's sillier moments.
Xenoblade 2 gets a pass because its world building is great. Fire Emblem Engage is the textbook definition of wasted potential at every turn, as well as an idiot plot, because the more I look at it, the more I realize, wow, Zephia is a complete idiot.
At least with Zeke, he's a complete dork, but he
He's
isn't dumb.
There is a degree of self-awareness to Zeke to where it can be amusing.
He
There is
knows
not
he's
that
ridiculous,
self-awareness.
but he knows he's ridiculous, but he just doesn't care. Right?
Yeah.
He's probably aware that he comes off as ridiculous, but he doesn't care. He just enjoys doing this. And I can at least respect that.
I honestly hope we see what he's like when he's older in Xenoblade 3, but I don't think we'll get that, because I'd be very curious to contrast Zeke in his older days with his father.
Here's the thing, we don't actually. I can tell you this without spoilers. Zeke is not in 3 because 3 is kind of its own thing.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. I wouldn't expect anything until we get, into the DLC at most, and even then it'll just be focused on the core characters. I doubt we'd even see Fiora. Although they did put Fiora into 2, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. But given the focus of the story, I'd be surprised.
So like, I like Zeke's ridiculous antics because at least Zeke is funny, in my opinion.
He has his moments.
And he is smart on the political spectrum.
Yeah, he is savvy, I'll give him that.
He can do politics, he just doesn't care about that. It's like that one, he's a lot more serious when he's in the political meeting on the show. Like,
Yep.
when he actually needs to be serious, he'll be serious, but a lot of times he just doesn't have to be, so he just says, screw it, why do I need to be serious? He also bounces well. Also, the cast of two bounces off each other very well.
Yeah. And it also helps to have the complete opposite personality with Morag as a contrast.
Also, Tora is a hit, and a lot of people like and also don't like Tora at the same time.
I don't know what I think of Tora, honestly.
He's kind of meant to be a poking fun of the fat otaku stereotype. That's kind of what he is.
I'm not sure what I think of Tora.
He is sort of a mocking of the fat otaku.
Even so. As a character, though, I'm not sure how I feel about him.
He's the least, all the main cast, he's probably the least involved in the plot.
Yeah, definitely the least important to the plot, and I should not have used that. Alright, let's find out if I regret it. Please don't hit me with anything.
Really?
Thank you.
At the very least, Poppy is at least entertaining, at least important enough.
Well, that's how you get the contrast for there, anyway.
I like that.
I just wish that contrast existed in Fire Emblem Engage. I mean, there's one character among the main playable characters who's, quote, normal.
I like you know Captain Codrig in that guy who became the face of the meme of the Armenian soldier?
Yeah, what about him?
I like that if you talk to him after getting things like, "How? You didn't have to hit me." After the console hits him and you find him, he's complaining about that.
Oh yeah, I do remember that line. Huh, it has been a while. Let's see. As far as editing for that's concerned, I've almost caught up with where I finished with Torna, as far as the Let's Play editing for that. Actually, how close am I to that? Let's see. Hang on. I've been using physical sheet of paper to track it. Let's see. Where am I on that?
By the way, in your video, I did notice you used the memes, I think you could take me song.
I used it a lot in what I just edited. Because I was looking at the challenge battle. Oh.
It is a good meme song.
Yeah, I mean I had to, right? Obligatory edit in 3, 2, 1. It had to be done.
Yeah. It's also there's a reason those guys became memes.
Yeah. Oh, the best part? I got the sound effects for him. That will be. I'm not using that one specifically, at least in the video I just edited, but there is a point where I use a sound effect, and I think it'll work well. I'll let you be the deciding factor. I mean, that's the obvious one, isn't it? Because, I failed this challenge battle 3 times and then gave up while I was fighting more Ordanian soldiers. You're done!
You're done! Think you can take me?
Mm-hmm. It had to be done.
You know the I can't wait for a joke. I can't wait for.
Which joke?
You hear that? I can't wait for it. There's a line that gets like. There's a thing. By the way, spoil it for me. Minor spoilers.
Oh, you're waiting for something specific in the third game?
Yes.
I'm either gonna love or hate it then. Given how our tastes do and do not overlap.
Yeah, I have more anime taste.
Well, I can tolerate anime if there's enough reason given for why they act that way. I could tolerate the weebery in Three Houses, as little of it as there was. Because most of it was still very serious, and to some extent a subversion on the old tropes.
So Xenoblade...
Engage was just annoying.
By the way, did you see the Xenogears opening I sent a while back? Or still haven't seen it yet?
Oh shoot, I thought I put that on the docket. Did I? Oh right, that's on the docket to eventually be watched.
Yeah. It's only the opening cinematic that pretty much plays when the game starts. So it's not really.
Ah, hell. I just lost.
Because if you start playing that game, you'll see it right when the game begins. It's literally it also, I believe, also plays before the title screen. So.
Although I saw 10 minutes on it and thought,
It's an anime scene, but there is no there is no music in it that will get you copyrighted. I can trust you on that.
Alright then.
Like, hey, for what's your opinion on the whole swimsuits in Xenoblade 2?
Harmless.
Yeah. They're mostly there because I like Zeke's because he has a tie.
That was silly.
Although I can't wait till Bringer Chaos Ultimate on piano.
Huh?
Bringer Chaos Ultimate on piano.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a joke that's related to 3 and 2, but you won't understand. So, but do not read the comments on Bringer Chaos Ultimate. That's literally what it is full of. References to that. Okay, basically, if you want an explanation.
I don't think I should have an explanation yet by the way you've described it.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Yoshi. Nobody likes you. Except the people who do.
What would you do if I told you I could play Bringer of Chaos on the piano?
Is this a challenge somebody did? Is this like when somebody used the DK bongos to play Dark Souls?
No.
Or whatever stupidity happened?
Well, someone did make a cover, but I don't know if it's synthesized or not. By the way, in the How to Train Your Dragon, when he's talking about it not being a real orchestra, he's actually talking about it's like more of a mini orchestra.
Yeah, because a lot of indie studios do that all the time. I think Hollow Knight uses the same trick for its soundtrack.
Like, yeah, that song is like, yeah, I can hear Test Drive. Yeah, that's hiding. You can't hide that. That's a straight up.
I hear 5 seconds and I think, I mean, I've heard similar tracks in video games before that had very little relation to each other, but they were different enough. Yeah, and then you hear it and you realize, no, forget my charitability, no.
You know, a lot of Doom's music is actually just straight up rip-offs of a lot of the Metallica and other tracks.
Huh, that lightning actually helped me avoid the blue shell. Okay.
You know, there's like some songs in Doom that just sound straight like actual some metal songs.
I mean, that was the whole appeal of the Doom soundtrack.
Like straight up like Metallica's Master of Puppets, stuff like that. It's like ripped off like he ripped off those tracks. Anyway.
I mean, if I ever get into video games, I'll probably take heavy inspiration from others.
Yeah, by the way, I kind of hope you play the Spyro series sometime.
It's a collectathon, right?
Yeah.
I don't have too much experience with it, so it might be worth checking out one at some point for Through the Looking Glass.
At the very least, I would not recommend your first collectathon would be not BTK64.
Ow. I think I just lost.
I would not. By the way, for collectathons, do not start with DK64.
That bad, huh?
I've heard horror stories.
I mean, at some point... I mean, there could be some... Oh my god, I just barely got that. I mean, there could be some value in looking at a bad mistake, but you don't want to lead with the bad mistake.
It's not a bad game, it's just when you try to 100% it, it's not it has a ton of collectibles, and it's an annoying process. It is like peak rare.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Rare's work. A lot of people like it, but going back to it, I'm like, a lot of it is very much you have like so much fucking to collect. Let's go.
I'm not as familiar with Rare's catalog.
They're pre Microsoft days is what people talk about. People love
Yep, that I do know. Yeah, because they got... Yeah, they ended up on the market because of Donkey Kong Country, right?
Yep.
And then they've done a bunch of stuff since then, like Banjo-Kazooie. I don't remember what else they did.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. Have you
It wasn't
seen
a
the
different
Great
company?
Mighty Movie?
Jeez.
It used to be called Ultimate Play the Game. It's a deliciously 80s title.
He
Rare
actually...
was what's called Ultimate Play the Game. Back in the 80s.
Ah.
That is deliciously 80s. We're back at Cheeseland.
Of course, it's the other one that Lou likes.
Can we please go on a Rainbow Road?
I mean, if we both choose
Yeah,
Rainbow
no,
Road,
no.
eventually we'll get it.
Like,
Nope, I got him green in the back.
I couldn't see it, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't worry, this is where the second red comes out, right?
yeah.
I was joking, damn it!
This
I
is
don't
not
like
my
this track
game.
because I don't really like this track because of all the turns.
I've started to adapt.
I adapted.
Improvise, adapt,
Fun
overcome.
swings like this.
I was watching a video, basically,
Ow.
the Leinster Alliance always fails even when it succeeds. The fact that it's sort of always
Yeah, I can understand that line of reasoning.
flawed. What do you think of flawed in 3 notes? A lot of people were upset about that.
Honestly, I think it made total sense.
He was more schemer in 3 hopes than he was. The big engagement error has occurred.
Because I can that's unfortunate. Because honestly, it was really jarring in the moment when I saw it, but because I played Golden Wildfire first, it meant I had more time to actually process it. Especially upon seeing the other routes and realizing, you know? If he was going to try and stand out, especially if you have the Golden Deer route stand out at all, how do you do it exactly? Because the problem is that their fate is inextricably tied to the fate of the Kingdom and Empire, but they are the major players. So, the fact of the matter is that Claude would still have animus against the Church. The only reason why he doesn't show that animus in 3 houses is because of Byleth.
Yeah.
And because,
Claude doesn't like the
according to
Church.
the dictates of the Church, followed to the letter, he would not exist. Blue shell.
Claude doesn't like the church, but he prefers to not be as antagonistic as Edelgard about it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's probably Edelgard. It's like the Etruscan Empire will not last under Edelgard, in my opinion. It will not survive. It will not survive.
I mean, that was sort of Edelgard's goal, though, in that reset the board, hand it to someone capable, let the chips fall.
I get the feeling that it's not going to go as the way she thinks.
Even so.
Personally,
Although, the problem with 3 Hopes isn't how they handle Claude, it's the fact that they left the ending so ambiguous. Golden Wildfire could have been the best route, and instead it's the worst.
yeah, because it ends.
It ends with
Feels
only
like it
one
ends-
major player addressed. Depending on how the fight ends at Aryan Road, that
And
has
the
a
game- and
major
it-
effect on how things play out.
And it never fucking got DLC.
It could have been so good.
Yeah, 3 Hopes feels like unfinished. Feels like it's undercooked.
I want to say Blue Line's best route because... Actually, here's a line from the review if I ever find time for it. I want to say Blue Line's best route because of a heated argument over the merits of each, not because it has the least ambiguous ending.
If we took their endings out, if Blue Lions had just as ambiguous ending as the rest,
Scarlet Blaze wins then.
I'll say this: I tapped out after 1 route.
That's understandable. Because I don't mind the warrior-style gameplay, so I'm willing to
I
put
don't
up
mind
with
the
it.
gameplay, just I can't bring myself to do another route.
Well, I obsessively played 3 houses for the within 2 months of it releasing, so I was prepared.
I've done most of Xenoblade 3, the only thing is I'm trying to fill in the area of Erythia C. Trying to fill in the map of Erythia. It's like how Xenoblade 1 you can find all the landmarks,
Yeah.
where you get the full map. I'm trying to do that with,
Without looking up a guide, I presume.
I don't even know where to start with a guide.
That bad, huh?
It's
Or
not
that
the
good,
matter of-
depending
I
on the
just don't know-
circumstances.
it's more the matter of I don't know exactly how many landmarks I have, and I don't really know where.
Fair
I
enough.
think I can look it up.
Is there not an easy way to mark it as such?
I think there is, but I just
Communication error. What?
I got one too.
The hell
Huh?
just happened?
11.
My
Good question.
Wi-Fi is not the greatest right now, but I don't think
Yeah,
it's
but it
me.
hit me. That's odd. Well, let's remake the room, I guess.
Alright, so we blame Jay about that.
Okay. Anyway, 3 Hopes or Xenoblade 2?
I much
What's the
prefer
story?
the story in Three Hopes, even with... Well, actually... What's it? Well, Actually, wait, Xenoblade 2,
Xenoblade 2 does have a more finished story.
I like the world more. Well, I like Fodlan more than I do all rest.
Already.
But that's because of bias from Three Houses.
On its own, but I will say one thing I do like more about Xenoblade Worlds is that it's generally, well, I like the scale of it more, because I don't really get a good sense of scale with Fire Emblem. That's my biggest issue.
Well,
I have a hard time getting a sense of scale and the size of the continent with Three Hopes and Houses.
that is fair. That is something that they probably should have done more to address, because... In fact, I believe that's a criticism of Three Houses. Because...
it feels like doesn't feel like the continent's the size of Europe.
Let's see, let's make sure everything's the
Which is
same.
what I feel like. Just from the way Fodlan's looks, it looks like it should be about the size of Europe.
Most likely, anyway.
It gives me the
Still,
vibe
that's-
of Europe, Asia.
Yeah, part of that is just because, especially with Three Houses, you were confined almost exclusively to Garreg Mach, and the problem with Three Hopes is that you're almost exclusively confined to a battlefield. So they do try and flesh out, hey, there's all these other noble families, and they sort of had that world building already there when you look at the map in Three Houses and you see, oh, I recognize this name now, I recognize this name now. But the problem is they don't do a lot to explore them, and they don't necessarily have the time to explore them anyway, because even with Azure Gleam, they have the opportunity to really look at how all of the Eastern Lords, well, actually no, it's the Western Lords, figure out how all of them tick, since that we would otherwise be focused on the Western Lords, since that's where a lot of the playable characters are from, but then we end up instead choosing to say, hey, we're going to focus on the one related to Annette, and we're going to focus on Cornelia being a mustache-twirling villain instead. And an idiot mustache-twirling villain, in fact. That's the disappointing part. Can Nintendo... can Fire Emblem in general just not write villains?
Xenoblade at least can write villains.
Xenoblade can write villains, I'll grant you that. Fire Emblem cannot write villains. Engage was crap. Three Houses to some extent was crap. The only reason it does well is because there's a degree of ambiguity as to who the quote bad guy is apart from the Agarthans, and even then they're undercooked.
Yeah.
They could have been a lot more morally ambiguous with how, depending on how you wrote the church, but no, apparently.
At least on Malthus actually feels interesting.
Ah,
What do you think of it?
I'm not sure what I think. Well, would I put a Malthus? Where would I put a Malthus, relatively speaking?
Like, a Malthus is a terrible, but he also had a terrible life that led to him thinking he could go.
The problem I have with a Malthus is that if he truly wished the end of the world, I feel like there are easier ways to accomplish that than the way he took.
I feel like
Directly fomenting conflict would have been a smarter move than just waiting for all the Titans to die.
And, from what I remember, a Malthus doesn't want the world to go out with a bang. He wants it to go out with a whimper.
That seems needlessly complicated to me, but I'd have to dig through the characterization again to hone in on it. Although, I find that hard to believe even then, because Malos.
Malos is his repressed stuff. Like that wants to do it, but he holds himself back. But once Malthus fully breaks through the end of 2, he's very similar to Malos. So that all the Malos is introspection. Malos, by the end of 2, he knows he's a hideous monster party, I'm saying it. And he knows he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Like, he just feels like he has to destroy.
I mean, technically he still does have a choice, but never mind that.
But it's more. It's like he feels like he has no choice in the fact that he's driven to do it, but he doesn't feel like it's his own drive. Basically, when you feel like you feel you need to destroy the world, but you know you shouldn't destroy the world.
Ah, damn it! I just lost.
Come on, no, don't hit me, no. No.
Oh man, if I had fired that half a second sooner.
Basically, as I put it, Malos'
so
hatred of the
close.
world is not truly his own hatred.
Even so. That doesn't mean you act on it, though.
Oh. Well, he is basically if the sword was given sentience, but the sword had could not decide what it did.
Even so. Let's see, what do I feel like for the next
it's
one?
a weapon designed to kill, but it
We'll go with
but
this.
it doesn't. But it has like the sword is a weapon designed to kill, but the sword sentient doesn't want to kill, but it cannot choose what its path is.
This game's being kind to me.
Yeah.
We'll get Baby Park next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully 4 games in a row like last time.
Clearly.
I do like how Rex is not a complete idiot.
Partially an idiot, but I mean, he's a shonen protagonist.
He's not an idiot when it comes to like stuff that matters in the plot. He's more just unaware because he's not really worldwide.
And honestly, you'd expect that given his age.
He's young and he's mostly just out in the clouds. He's just
Young, reckless, and full of himself. Exactly how it should be for a teenager.
And he's also mostly just working on the clouds. He's trying to make a living. That's basically what he's doing with the start of the game. So
No, you don't. There we go.
Like, with all these like tech giants like working on graphics, I wonder like how they're gonna improve.
Depends on depends on what they end up doing. Because I can't recall how much they've said about the Switch successor. I know everybody calls it Switch 2, but knowing them, they could try and pull a Switch U. I believe they did say it is going to be more iterative, but they didn't exactly say how.
That's pretty much all we know. All we know is that it's going to be iterative design.
Iterative how, though? Because technically the Switch is iterative in that it's taking the tablet idea from the Wii U and making it literally the console.
Yeah. The Switch is remarkably is punching way above its weight class.
Well, that's because they've got developers who effectively have to optimize. You can't... Well... No half measures on that. You have to commit to optimizing your game and making it look good.
And also that Nintendo is also incredibly talented at what they do.
I mean, there's a reason they've been a tech giant for years.
Yeah. They basically are the economy in Japan at this point. Them and Dragon Quest.
Yeah, Dragon Quest is literally just... It's like Final Fantasy's big here. It's big in Japan too, but compared to Dragon Quest, it's literally nothing. There's a reason Dragon Quest games don't get released on weekdays. Have to get released on Saturdays. Because otherwise it would tank the Japanese economy. No, I am not joking there.
I've heard same.
Yeah. I don't know how much is exaggeration, but we do know that they don't release games on weekdays. They just don't.
There is no Warren Bossing say.
Yeah.
Why did I run into that? I had the chance to avoid it too.
By the way, I hear this critique for Korra a lot that the world advanced too fast when I don't think it did really.
The problem with Korra is that the main character is annoying as hell.
Korra is designed to be flawed. I don't really find Korra that annoying.
Well, they say Korra's designed to be flawed, but then she learns 3 elements just like that.
They partly did that so they didn't have to, but she also struggled the hell with air.
Until she didn't.
Even then, she's not very spiritual. That's her issue.
Until she needs to be for the plot. In Season 2.
I don't think... No. I don't think Korra's a Mary Sue. She is definitely not a Mary Sue. She fucks up a lot.
I'm not gonna say she's a Mary Sue, but it is borderline.
Honestly, Aang's more married Sue than Korra is.
Ah!
That's what my dad said, and I agree with him on that.
Ah! I find that hard to believe.
Well, let's just agree to disagree.
I need to think about that one. I can't think of the. Another communication error, huh?
Oh, I haven't.
Wait, what?
Now it's here. Yeah.
Come on, I was almost first place.
I'm not the one causing communication errors. I don't think. It's not intentional if it is my end.
Alright, we're going to have to buy our own internet.
Yeah, not tenable.
I feel like you should try, at least if Splatoon 4 comes out and you have the console, would you be willing to at least try like a global test fire, which is like a free online demo for it?
Console shooters and I do not mix. I have learned my lesson. I know that's a lame answer, but console shooters and I do not mix.
I'd say give it a shot. It's free. It's a demo. It's not going to cost you anything. And honestly, you can try and see if you can use the motion controls.
Well, I'm using motion controls right now, and I've got gyro aiming somewhat down, but
I'd say give it a shot. If it doesn't work, then I won't bug you about it.
well, let me put it this way: when am I gonna have time for Splatoon 4?
When it comes out.
Good joke. Wait till you hear what I have planned for next year.
I would like to try. When the Dragon Quest 3 remake comes out, the HD 2D one, I'm gonna try that.
All right.
I own Dragon Quest 11. I refuse to go past Act 2 because it literally undoes the entirety of Act 1. The entirety of Act 2 is pretty much undone in the fact that it's time travel.
Of course.
And then I own 9 and 8. I have not completed either of those. I would say Dragon Quest 11 is a good game, but it's not the big. It is a very much standard JRPG because that's what Dragon Quest is. It's literally the junk food of JRPGs.
And that's why they like it so much. It's their comfort food.
Yes, it's the comfort food of JRPGs. It's not trying to be. It's not trying to be the ambitious RPG. It's trying to be the comfort food RPG. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep, it's going for the mass appeal without sacrificing its audience, so I can respect it.
Yeah. Dragon Quest 1, in the NES, the original Famicom, they did not have a save system.
What? What, did you have to put in codes or something?
Yes.
Well, that is how they used to do saving.
Yep. They also only have one facing sprite, so everyone, when they would move sideways, would, slide across the ground. Every character only has one facing sprite.
Good. Blue Shell's not going for me for once. Have fun, Peach.
By the way, they added saving in the NES version of the game, Dragon Warrior. But that only had one save point, and that was by the king at the start of the area at the beginning of the game.
Ooh, careful.
Do you know what I said about Dragon Quest saving in the when they added saving in the NES version?
What?
They only have one save point in the entire game, and it's right at the start.
Yeah, I heard that part.
You got to backtrack to the kings if you want to save.
At that point, just emulate it and use save states.
That or play our later remake, because I think they changed that in later versions.
Yeah, I could imagine.
By the way, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 are actually interconnected. Dragon Quest 1...
That I have heard. There's a reason why they made a big deal out of that in the direct.
The order would be Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest 2. By the way, fun fact, you can actually find the world map of Dragon Quest 1 in Dragon Quest 2, but it's not only a small part of the world. It's a heavily shrunk down version. It's like how you can find the original Legend of Zelda world map in Zelda 2. It's not the main.
I didn't know you could do that.
Though. It's literally like a small, it's only like the most important town and one castle. It's a heavily condensed version because the scaling is different. It's basically differently scaled.
I'm
And
never gonna
Dragon
have
Quest
time
3,
for
at
everything,
the end
am
of
I?
Dragon Quest 3, you actually go to the world of Dragon Quest 1, at least a part of it, and you will liberate it and become the hero of that game that you hear about in the first game.
Hmm.
By the way, if you ever played the original like GBA version of the original NES version of FF1, half the game systems don't work because the game is not the best programmed.
Sounds about right.
I believe it was.
I'm never
like,
gonna have time
Square's
for all these,
last
am
game.
I?
It's literally the last game Square was gonna make before they went bankrupt, so it was literally an all-or bust.
That's why they called it the Final Fantasy?
I've heard that. I don't know how true that is.
That sounds way too convenient to be true, but could be, for all we know.
By the way, they do have both pickaxes and shovels here.
Hmm.
Some of them have pickaxes, some have shovels.
Hmm. I'm never gonna have time for all these, am I?
By the way, I think you would like FF Tactics, especially after Engage. It would be a good palate cleanser.
I would hope. Although, depends on... Well, the timing I'm expecting is that at some point... Well, at some point next year, I'm hoping to have the Engage video fully finished, which is gonna be an undertaking, I'll admit, because the script is insane.
Yeah, but
Once that I'm done with that script, I'll feel good about jumping into another SRPG. Once that video's done.
By the way, if you play Dragon, I think I'd wait for FF Tactics. Because I feel like they're gonna do a remaster of the PSP version. If you do it, there's a PSP version for the Lions, which has actual voice acted cutscenes. It's an improved version, which is one they probably would base the re-release off. But I've heard differences. I've heard some people still play the original version, the old translation, but I'm not sure how good that translation is.
Well, I guess we'll find out before too long.
By the way, fun fact, in Japan people prefer Tactics over to FF Tactics because Tactics over came out first.
Yeah, if you can get hit by the... Oh my gosh, the lightning saved you! Oh.
I think that was me who did. I think I gave the lightning.
Yeah, you saved him from a blue shell. I think I might win anyway, because I just tagged him with a... Oh, never mind, I'm not winning. Crap, I just collided into something. I think I've just lost.
I just went off road. I'm in 10th, so I don't really care that much.
Okay, I think I've got it. It would take some bullshit. Okay, we're good.
Triangle Strategy, it is a very slow pace, just so you know. If you ever played Triangle Strategy, it is a very slow-paced game.
I don't mind slow-paced, I play CRPGs.
It is like, in the slow pace, it's the dialogue. It's like, it is very long and drawn out.
I mean, I ran into that a little bit with Golden Sun. They could have cut some of those dialogue sections in half.
That's one of the biggest issues I hear with Dark Dawn, the third Dragon Quest game. A lot of people have the issues in that it's very verbose and...
I'm already having that problem with the base game.
The first game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's a hard game? Cuphead.
I've heard that. I own it.
Eventually, it will be seen to eventually, but, well, I have other priorities right now. I'm gonna be committing to long-term games.
Did you hear about the Tale? There's apparently going to be a Tales of Xillia remaster.
I know nothing about Tales of, so, eh.
I like Tales of. Although, if you play it's an action RPG in the sense that you have you go into a separate battle area, but you do battle. But you do battle with real-time arts and all that. It's kind of like playing a Smash game. It's kind of like playing a Smash game in the earlier ones, because you have basically up, you have specials that use up attack, no attack, and side attack, and stuff like that, and back attack as well. The original does run it in inconsistent 60, but due to the PC and Switch versions, due to them being based on the PS2 version, which ran at 30 because of PS2 limitations.
Get back here!
Due to the PS2's limitations, it runs at 30 and it doesn't run 60. I think there might be a mod to fix that, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah. most Tales games either run at 60, or if they do run at 30, it's due to technical issues. Due to just them, the consoles and on, and then taking the graphics as much as they can.
Oh my god, I'm hit with my own damn shell! I'm gonna be kicking myself over losing this one. Alright, let's see how lucky I am.
Harry!
Well, I got third this time. No, you were not getting ahead of me. Oh, wait! I still have a chance? I still have a chance?
Not on my watch.
Communication error!
Not on my watch, Lou says immediately as it crashes.
I got a communication error.
Oh, I needed that laugh. I needed that laugh. Okay.
By the way, this reminds me of some of the SGB whenever Lewis was losing, whenever Ryan was losing in Branch Crash when they were playing Mario Party, the game would crash whenever he was losing.
Oh yes, I got Chase internet.
I need Ethernet.
I probably should be using Ethernet.
Maybe that's why.
It's possible. I just don't use the Switch for online very often, so I never bothered to re-hook up the Ethernet cable. And also, the modem's literally right there.
Yeah, I feel like the Switch... Nintendo is kind of... What do you think of the reason why... I hear... What is your opinion on Nintendo not revealing the devs behind their RPGs? Because a lot of people are complaining about that with Brothership.
I don't care. But then again, I don't really care about the game anyway, because I'm not a Mario fan.
Or Luigi. They're good games.
Oh, damn it.
If you want to play it, if you want to play one, you can play on the you can play the first game on NSO.
Crap!
Yes.
I picked the wrong one, and it's the one that we're doing. I'm sorry.
Oh well.
I love all these maps.
I feel like we should all go SNES.
I feel like we should all go Baby Park. I don't know.
No, we had enough of that.
Yes.
I feel like we should all let me win.
Nah, we don't. Nah. I should win.
Alright, I think after this set of 4, we'll change up the rules set.
Yuzu kind of... What's your opinion on the whole Yuzu thing?
I think I've said before that they flew too close to the sun with their business model.
Yeah. Nintendo tends to really only go for people who make a big deal out of themselves.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they haven't gone out of their way to go after any of the Citra clones... Actually, have they gone out of the way for the Citra clones? Actually, here's the important part. Internet Archive, you're still able to find the latest nightly build of Citra. I was able to set it up for my brother a while back.
Yeah, I think Nintendo mostly just ignores you if you aren't really cutting into their profits, or you're making a big...
Yeah. The fact that they had a metric to say, hey, you know, you guys got a big bump when the Tears of the Kingdom build released. What gives? That was the impetus for their lawsuit.
They also kind of don't go after Pokemon Showdown.
I'm actually kind of surprised they don't, honestly. Then again, they're using a different rule set for their stuff, so...
They used Mood Channel did a video on that recently. Basically, there's really not much of a reason for them. You also, basically, the difference... You know, Pokemon Company and Nintendo...
Ooh!
The differences between Nintendo and the Pokemon Company is kind of odd and confusing.
Yeah. Although it's still Japanese, so you'd think that they would still be persnickety about that.
Nintendo does have control, but they have less control over...
Yeah, but it's only a third stake, right? Something like that?
Yeah. They don't have as much control over Pokemon as they do over, like, let's say, Mario or something like that.
Which explains how buggy Scarlet and Violet was.
Yeah, that's like the only reason that the game can be buggy is because Nintendo does not have direct oversight. Yeah,
and the fact that most of Pokemon sales comes from merch anyway, so they don't care about the state of the game as much as the fact that, hey, we've got new Pokemon we can make plushies out of.
Yep.
And make new trading cards out of.
Pokemon is
Ow.
kind of its own beast. It's kind of a beast of its own.
It is literally the most profitable franchise ever.
Yes.
Unfortunately, because that means they've got a big opinion of themselves.
You know, I haven't heard. I heard good things about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl when it was coming out, but after it came out, I just did not hear anything about it.
Came out of what came out?
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Honestly, it seemed like it was going in the right direction by giving a lot more single-player content, because you're not going to beat Smash Bros. By being competitive. You're going to beat Smash Bros. By giving the normie crowd something to latch onto.
But I haven't heard a goddamn thing about it.
Well, that's the thing. You're not going to beat him on the competitive space. And honestly, if you're trying to make a game just for an esport, you're going to fail right out the gate. Yeah, there's, I think, all of 2 games that have made that work, one of them being League of Legends. And that was right place, right time, more so than any... Well, to be fair, I like League of Legends, although kernel level anti-cheat means I can never play that game again.
Unless they get rid of it.
Although, to be fair, I am going to be converting to full Linux soon, so maybe I wouldn't be able to play it anyway. Ugh.
Yeah.
I did get that game working in Linux back in 2012, but damn did it take some effort.
And it's probably changed a lot since then.
Honestly, for the better, though. I'm thinking well, what it's going to come to is... I think October of next year is when the end of support date for Windows 10 comes out, and since I'm looking at Windows 11 and thinking, nah, I don't want to deal with Microsoft on this one, I'm just gonna go full to Linux. I'll make a big deal out of going through my entire library and showing that, hey, you can make gaming work here, without as much finagling as it used to be.
Yeah, I'll say, I have no opinion on Linux, but I do not like Mac.
I mean, I don't like Mac because I don't like Apple.
I don't like their user interface. I don't like their physical. I don't like the mouses they have. I don't even like the monitors they have.
Well, my problem with Apple is that they're too much of a walled garden. Oh, this is a terrible time to get blue shelled. Oh my gosh, you actually can inflate it like that? Huh, I didn't know that would work.
By the way, people compare Nintendo to Apple a lot.
The Nintendo store says otherwise. Because I can see the comparison, because in theory, you're getting a good product, but you need to be willing to pay a premium for it. So I get the comparison, especially since Nintendo seems to be very particular about how you consume its stuff. It is very difficult to find their music on streaming services, for instance, so you cannot find their music on Spotify.
I heard that was because they don't like how Spotify, they don't get barely anything from Spotify.
That is true, to be fair. Spotify doesn't give a lot. You have to go viral on Spotify in order to get something, or use it as an inroad to something else, or get a deal of some stripe. That's my understanding of it anyway.
No, I can understand them not really caring for it, that's why they don't like it.
Just sell your music digitally then! I would happily buy the Xenoblade 2 soundtrack if I didn't have to pay $100 for the CD.
I also hear that CDs are way more popular in Japan.
Then make them over here too, please. I don't mind converting my CDs to FLACs, but come on.
Yeah.
I still have a Blu-ray player on this PC.
I remember, it's like, by the way, the art books, the reason why I believe the Xenoblade art books don't get translated is because they don't want, they said, basically with the Xenoblade 3 one, they said, if you can find someone who's willing to do it, we will do it. We just don't want to put in the effort ourselves. They came to translating the art book.
Well, there's plenty of people out there who will translate it. Heck, that's part of the reason why they didn't ever bother translating FE6.
And also why they and partly Mother 3.
Yeah, that one's never coming over.
I think it's partly, I heard also because it has the issue with music and sampling with it. Because it samples a lot of music.
Ah. We got an Advance Wars remaster before we got a Mother 3 translation or a new F-Zero game. How does that make you feel, Nintendo fans?
Well, I am indifferent on F-Zero.
I know, there are people who get very upset about F-Zero.
F-Zero, I think the reason is it does not do very well, and it's just... Like they gave it a shot in the mid 2000s and it did not do well.
That is fair. And I know intelligence systems didn't like working on Advanced Wars either, because it was only successful outside of Japan, really.
And they like it being worldwide in Japan.
Yeah, they much preferred Fire Emblem at that point, so that makes sense.
Yeah. If you want to do Advanced Wars, go find someone else who's going to do it.
Well, Wargroove is right there.
Yeah.
I need to finish that review.
Yeah, that's like Monolith Soft originally. You know, they originally were owned by Namco.
Yeah.
Monolith Soft was originally.
Really?
What happened?
You'll
Oh
see.
my god.
Baby Park is cursed. I approve.
We are banning Baby Park.
No.
I mean, we've gotten communication errors on other stages, but that's twice now.
It happens most on Baby Park.
But this has been happening since we joined J. You get me? You get me?
Don't look at me.
Like maybe
I'm
not
on
the master,
gigabits.
maybe J's the problem.
I'm on gigabit. Don't look at me.
Maybe Jay should pay like extra for better internet. Who knows?
I'm on gigabit.
And find a way to get better internet. Who knows?
I mean, I could go 2 gigabits, but that's excessive for what I need.
By the way,
Go 3, maybe 5.
people
Who knows?
complain about.
Maybe if I wired the whole house with Ethernet, it'd be worth. But until then,
Maybe you should go get something from Padrag.
from what?
Captain Padrag. He has his own Ethernet company. Is he not here?
Maybe I should ban you.
Reference. I'm making a Xenoblade 2 reference.
I know. Maybe I should ban you anyway.
Wait, did you not like that meme? This is an Ethernet!
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You've made just as many bad memes as I have.
Yes, but I'm the one running the channel, so it's fine.
Again!
Oh wait, I said I was going
love
to change up the
this.
rule set, didn't I? Crap. Probably a good
Oh,
thing
well.
I didn't.
Hold on. If it crashes right now, I'll never choose Baby Park again for the rest of my life.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it for the rest of your
I
life.
put it on my life. I will do that.
I don't
If it
believe
crashes
you.
Again.
I don't buy it.
I put it on my life.
I'll just say this. Most,
Yeah, I'd sooner believe that I'll actually keep up with chat properly. And that's something I'm in control of, damn it. Sort of, anyway.
I know it's gonna get worse when you get like more audience, like more people watching. It seems to be worse.
Yeah.
Like keeping troll chat.
I want to play Final Fantasy 14, but I know my computer cannot run that.
Ow! Who threw that?
Mine's a cheap $200 Dell laptop.
Eh. Those have their
$600
use.
my PC doesn't
Oh
do
wait,
good.
are you gonna be okay when the Windows 10 end of support date's gonna come? Because that'll probably get invalidated by the 11 requirements.
I'll probably then. I'm thinking of upgrading soon, but I'm having issues with chargers.
Well, PC Parts Picker, if ever you're in the market for stuff, I just use them to try and figure out what I'm gonna do with my PC before converting it to Linux.
I'll probably just get a new computer around there. So.
Oh, plenty of good pre-builds out there too.
I don't
The
have the, I don't
laptop
have,
and the PC I have are way
I don't have the income for anything not pre-built.
Isn't it cheaper to not buy pre-built though?
I don't have enough money to buy a fully new computer. To buy a new from the ground up computer. Also, I don't have the space.
Fair enough.
Depends. It depends on the GPU though. That's the thing.
That is true, and GPUs are usually the bottleneck for everything. 'Cause Because I did the numbers on how much my... Well, what my
Let's
PC
do
is going to
Rainbow
look like.
Roads.
I'm trying to do a
Let's do
Rainbow Road.
Roads. So am I!
I chose
pick Baby
Rainbow
Park.
Baby Park.
That doesn't exist.
No.
Okay. Okay, can we stop with Baby Park? I'm getting tired of this track.
Hold on. It hasn't like crashed yet. That's the thing. I said I'll stop when it crashes.
So you're gonna jinx it by continuing to bring it out? You madman.
Yes.
You're just increasing the chances of it showing up.
But the Beyond the Needle 20, I heard it has de novo, but it doesn't show up on the page.
Oh, that's even worse.
On the Steam page.
I love video
Gee, look.
games.
It's
Give me
also
$50 million.
Ubisoft.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
betting them all on
Ubisoft.
Switch version. You can get the Switch version, which runs okay.
I'm honestly
Already
surprised
have
that Ubisoft hasn't gone bankrupt after their quadruple A disaster.
I blame the French government.
Even so.
Ubisoft it's a good remaster, but I'm not sure which version you should get.
Counterpoint Ubisoft.
I didn't even know if it has de novo. I just saw that in the Reddit once, but I'm not sure if it's true or not.
I could probably go digging if I cared enough, but, well, when am I gonna find time for it?
Well, if you want to play version, you can play the original version on GOG.
Yep.
GOG still. It's also I also sent you a copy of Steam of the original, but that port is broken. And I couldn't send you a GOG version because I don't know how to send to GOG.
You have to send it effectively. I think you have to know the email address of the person you're sending it to.
And I don't know yours, and I don't think you're gonna tell me.
No, I should just set up a business address at some point. Especially if YouTube ever takes off properly. Completely completely separate my personal and YouTube stuff.
I feel like you would actually really like Final Fantasy XIV's, both story-wise and.
When I find time for it, I will keep saying when I find time for it, and eventually it will stick.
I don't expect you to ever find time for it. It's an MMO.
Yeah, that's the problem. There was a time I would have probably thrown a lot of time at it, but that time got soaked up by League of Legends back when I was in college.
I would like.
Really?
Okay, from now on. Okay, from now on, Baby Park is banned. I want to ban.
He's gonna do it
Hold
anyway.
on.
He's gonna do it anyway.
It hasn't crashed yet. It hasn't crashed.
Why do you tempt
Until
fate?
it crashes. Look. Give me $50 million. I'm betting it all on black.
That is why you fail.
No, it's just a winner mentality. I mean,
Well, thoughts on the Acolyte?
go big or go home.
I refuse to
Go big or
watch
go
it.
home.
From what I have watched it, it's not that bad. It's at worst mid.
I have
Look,
seen
Jake, you want
enough.
$50 million?
Well, I've seen enough story
What's the
synopses to
doing?
know that I would absolutely despise it if I did watch it.
I'll say, at worst, it's mid, in my opinion. Like most of Star Wars, to be honest. Star Wars has never really been that well.
Bullshit.
It's
KOTOR
never
2, your argument is invalid.
I'm talking about the movies and shows.
A New Hope, your argument is invalid.
New Hope is not that well written. Trust me.
It is better written than you're giving it credit for.
If you've actually seen it's mostly saved by the editing. The original Lucas version is horrible.
Yeah, but the version we got is it's a classic. Don't give me that. Doesn't matter how it turned out, what matters is the end product.
Star Wars is still very schlocky.
So?
I don't think Acolyte is all that bad. Nothing outstanding, but I'm not really good. I haven't seen me be angry at Star Wars.
Honestly, I just don't consider it Star Wars. It just exists in this weird part of the universe where, okay, yeah, stuff happened, I'm sure.
What about it that you don't consider Star Wars? It's very Star Wars. It's different Star Wars. Star Wars is so varied that there is so much in Star Wars.
It doesn't understand how long. Well, idea of distance from what I've seen. Everything seems to be within half an hour of each other.
Star Wars is Star Wars is Star Wars. Star Wars is such variety that there is no just one thing. It's a franchise, not a specific type of work. Meaning, what one considers Star Wars is not what others. Like,
Then why don't they avoid the Skywalker saga and have to make references to Darth Plagueis?
Because that's pretty much what a lot of people like about it, and that's what the writers want to do.
No!
There we go. Now we got something different.
In my opinion, most of Star Wars is just sort of... I honestly don't have it in me to be angry.
Well, to be fair, I'm at the point where I'm apathetic about Star Wars. At some point I'll have to
personally
do a
think
proper critique of KOTOR 2 and explain what could have been, but
I once saw a person who said they'd never have paid for KOTOR 2 to be shorter because they think it's too long.
Really?
Ever heard of Warlocky?
Sorry, I'm not reacting to you, I'm reacting to the
For
game.
the first time.
I once
It's
heard
over.
I heard a critique of KOTOR 2 that it's a bit too long in the tooth.
Well, there's a lot of things wrong with KOTOR 2. It was the product of 9 months, I'm pretty sure. Or some ridiculous time scale.
In my opinion,
It is
have
a
you watched
minor
Bad
miracle it turned out as good as it did.
Have you seen Bad Batch Season 2 and 3 yet?
I've seen
They're
the
really
second
good.
season. I thought it was an improvement in some areas. I have not found time for the third yet. The brother and I need to sit down to watch it at some point.
Personally, I think, in my opinion, in terms of Acolyte, it's just sort of, at worst, mid. Personally, my opinion on Star Wars is, and also I will say this, although I feel like the people who are complaining about it online, some like the grifters, are blowing it way too far out of proportion.
Depends on the metric you're using.
People complaining about cortosis.
Cortosis is the least of the
Okay,
show's
we go-
problems.
Yeah, but I remember hearing a bunch of people complaining about that. Like, how is that?
It's a little
And-
silly that he tried. It's a little silly that he tried headbutting it because that was a risky move,
But,
and
hey,
arguably
people-
he should have been. Well, Should I
But
go
I guess,
with?
hey, I think cortosis is just, well, I think it was Rule of Cool, and I don't think Rule of Cool exists.
Well, you
Yeah,
don't
it's
have.
not
Well,
cool,
the
so
problem
they're
is, my issue is that when you have to fall back to rule of cool, that could literally apply to all sorts of stuff. If you have to
Let's
fall
see
back
the-
on that, then what substance is there? Something can be cool and still have substance to it. We don't have to have this middle ground.
I feel like, in my opinion on Acolyte, not bad. It's nothing great, but it's nothing worth getting really angry over.
Well, the show isn't consistent with
Is it
itself,
crafty?
so it's easy to compartmentalize in my mind as, okay, that's a thing that happened, I don't care.
Yeah. In my opinion, most of Star Wars is just sort of, when we're talking like the greater EU, there's just as much bad stuff.
Oh, there's a ton of garbage within the expanded universe. There's also a lot of really good stuff in the expanded universe. Wait, why did I choose this rule set? And then get into first?
Although you can say the exact same thing about canon, that it's just as inconsistent.
Look what I chose as a
Wait,
rule
what kind of this
set.
is? Oh, is this
That's
the same
fun.
one we did last time?
Yep, I went bombs and blue shells.
Look, if you did that, we should have gone Baby Park.
No!
I'm tired of
also-
Baby Park, I'm tired of Baby
No.
Park, can we please not do it?
Well,
I'm
let me
utterly
defend you
tired
real
of
quick,
that.
right? 3 times in a row, it did not crash until we chose that other game mode. Then it crashed. You see, Baby Park is the true
And
map.
I'd say,
The only one.
I'd rather...
Oh my gosh!
By
This
the
is so
way,
silly.
um,
Ugh. Perfect mode to play when you're half drunk. This is great.
it's like, I'd say Legends and Canon are about equal in terms of how much garbage and good they are.
I haven't seen enough of the books and whatnot within the new canon to say for absolute certain. I have not been impressed by the films.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people hated the prequels when it came out. Trust me, those things were hated.
Yes, but they were eventually loved. I do not see that happening with how they wrote the sequel trilogy.
I'll just say this. People say everything. First, some special editions ruined Star Wars. Then people said the prequels did. Then Disney did. So it's literally everything ruined Star Wars.
So all you're saying is that we should only pay attention to the original trilogy? Got it, I can agree with that take.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that pretty much most... I've heard that in Star Wars...
Why didn't I think getting near you was a good idea when you were getting blue-shelled?
Even with the original trilogy, I've even said that people have been saying that's his Return of the Jedi.
That is true, the Ewoks upset people.
Yes. So, there's not even a consistency with that. So, by the way, most of Star Wars has always been a sliding scale of fall. So, Star Wars show not being great. Star Wars show not being very good. Oh well, moving on.
Yeah, but it could be better, and that's what annoys people. There is a lot of potential in the universe, and that's why people eventually grew to like the prequels, because an interesting story told badly is how it's been described.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's enough of substance within the sequel trilogy for it to eventually earn that.
I feel like you could at least you could make this argument with the Acolyte that there is some amount of substance that you could make that argument.
There are ideas. The problem is that I don't necessarily think that those ideas were well expressed with what I have seen.
I feel like the Acolyte is going to fall into a similar section as the prequels, where over time the people who liked it when they grew up will eventually... Basically, everyone's favorite Star Wars is the Star Wars they grew up with.
Well, we'll see how it looks in 10 years then.
Yeah. I feel like in 10 years after the Acolyte there will... it's like a thing was hated, but then 10 years later it was loved because all the haters moved on.
We'll see how it looks in 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much. So, that's
We are getting there for The Last Jedi, though.
Some people are there with The Last... Some people like... I know some people actually like The Last Jedi.
Yeah, some people have bad taste. I had to make that joke, I'm sorry. I had to say it.
People would say the same thing about the prequels.
Hey, I like the prequels, I didn't say they're good.
Some people would say that liking the prequels is bad taste.
I'll own that bad taste. It is a guilty pleasure.
I'm sure there's someone who could say the same thing about Last Jedi then.
Oh yeah, as long as you're willing to be honest about its quality, I don't care whether you like it or dislike it.
Honestly,
Like and dislike is a very different conversation from good and bad.
I'll say this, I think Last Jedi is better than Rise of Skywalker.
I'm not sure what I can... More honest, I think, would be a good word for it. I'm not sure where I would put them, honestly. Because The Last Jedi had a clear vision of what it wanted to be, even though I hated that vision. The Rise of Skywalker had no vision, so what's more offensive? Something that told an idea, well, did a really good job at executing on something that you dislike? Or something that's memorable but bad, or something that's unmemorable? I guess that's what it boils down to.
Abrams can't write for shit.
No, he cannot. On that we agree.
He's good at directing, and that's about it.
One could argue the same about Rian Johnson, but never mind me.
I'll say this.
So you have to like mushrooms and stuff?
I will say this.
There are no mushrooms, there are only bombs and blue shells.
I'll say this. Lucas probably wouldn't give a shit about whether or not this canon is consistent. I'll tell you that.
Probably not. That doesn't mean we won't.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares enough.
Well, clearly he doesn't care enough given how the expanded universe turned out. How the hell am I still on the track after all that? Oh, come on!
Jay. Put red shells and bullet bills only.
Why red shells specifically? Blue shells are the meme shell.
Because instead of hitting, like, you know, everyone, like, instead of just, like, the person in front, you hit everyone.
Well, I can throw red shells into the mix, but I don't want to get rid of the blue shells.
Yeah. Alright, so blue shells and red shells at least. Because bombs are kind of annoying
No, what's
to
your
like
thoughts
throw.
on
Why
it?
can't
I
we
love
have
you
both?
and all you guys. I'm personally fine with the I love you and all you guys.
I'll have to see what they do with it in the third game when I inevitably find time for it.
What's your opinion on the power of friendship?
Mostly in
Overplayed. Grossly overplayed.
Overplayed? I'm waiting
I
for the power
mostly-
of gambling.
If ever they say it out loud, I immediately lose interest. Make it
Oh,
a
so you
theme.
think Sonic-
On the spot?
Make it a theme, not the substance.
What about the real superpower of teamwork? That's a Sonic
Cringe.
Heroes reference.
Yes, I have. Well, my brother owns Sonic Heroes. I am familiar.
Yes, but then again, Sonic's also very cheesy.
That is the thing, though. It's self-aware. What's the joke? Self-aware cringe?
Then there's Kingdom Hearts, which is very much ridiculous and maybe cringe, but it takes itself 100% seriously.
Which means I'd hate it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It loves itself. It does.
As long as it's
actually
self-aware,
work.
I can tolerate it.
Kingdom Hearts is plus.
I don't trust it to be
Kingdom
self-aware, though.
Hearts is the game. At the very least, the gameplay's fun.
Wait, why am I in first? This is a bad idea. I should be in second.
Maybe you should be in
Eh,
third.
third's okay.
Maybe you should be in last.
Maybe you should
We
be
should.
not even here.
Okay, I'll close the lobby now. We can end it here.
Wait, wait, what? No, no.
But maybe we should just only have it be you and me, and we should just boot Lou out of the lobby.
I mean, I could be that mean, but I'm not gonna be that mean.
Anyway.
This is a multiplayer community night. He is technically a member.
Yeah. I do
No,
have to
man.
appreciate it. A ridiculous idea that takes itself 100% seriously. I actually kind of enjoy that. Earnest stuff. It doesn't try to hide what it is.
No, I'll search for it.
Ow, you scum! Get back here. Ah, well, I guess you got blue shell instead of me this time, so I'll be happy to exploit your
Hey, listen to the
problems.
story. No, please.
And
change
now
it.
I'm about to get blue shell. Yay.
Into oblivion!
Ah, I'm still in first.
I need to be
You think
third
I'll,
because, like, you know.
I feel like you might like more wins a bit more if you actually tried it.
I'm gonna keep saying eventually until it sticks.
It will never stick.
No, I'm first place.
And I'll keep saying it.
It
Wait.
will fall upon deaf ears.
You are not the only person I say eventually to. I've had a lot of practice saying it.
You know what?
Cuphead coming out in 2036.
I do see a lot of people complain that Nintendo does not make the most powerful songs themselves.
Hey, if the game's good, performs well, looks fine, art style's more important than graphical fidelity anyway.
Yeah. Like, Gears of Kingdom doesn't run at 60, but it also is like, how much stuff is going under the hood.
I'd like it to run at 60.
I feel like even on PS5, if it was made for PS5 or attack, Nintendo would just make it push it even harder.
I'd really like it if it was at 60 FPS. I'd have even less to complain about then. That'd be great. Why did they throw that in front of me?
RJ.
Why do I
I feel
suck?
like if Nintendo was given more powerful hardware, they just push it even further.
I mean, that's technically what they did with GameCube, wasn't it?
Yeah, they overclocked the Wii. The Wii is basically just an overclocked GameCube.
Alright, now I need to introduce red shells.
I have a better idea.
What?
Let's put in coins,
Alright.
Why?
because then we can get screwed over by them.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. Let's see.
Jay, take this offer, right? You either play Cuphead or your games run at 15 FPS forever?
What would you take? A inconsistent 60 or a consistent 30?
Probably consistent 30.
In a Warriors game.
In a Warriors game, definitely. Consistent to 30. It's much more important for it to be consistent than high. Aha.
Consistent 1,000? I kind of want to see like how powerful 4090 is.
This is one thing though. I feel with Acolyte, it's just like there was review bombing with it because they bombed a movie into a movie called The Acolyte, which has nothing to do with Star Wars. That got review bombed, and it was mostly the same reviews you saw on The Acolyte.
I'm not convinced it's a review bomb as much as it is just negative feedback.
No, they like the movie, independent movie, not Acolyte.
Yeah, and people are dumb and don't check that sort of thing. That could easily be chalked up to stupidity. It's the internet.
I still think it was review bombed in my opinion because it was review bombed before anyone even watched the darn thing.
It definitely had an uphill battle. I'll grant you that.
I feel like people were already had decided they hated it before it even came out. They hated it before we even knew anything about it.
Oh, I don't know if hate is the right word, just had no expectations.
True, but I remember people were like really get angry or something about it before it even came. Which I feel is a bit silly.
Perhaps.
I just, even if the show isn't that good, I feel like it got overly... I feel like the entire conversation was overly negative. On a show that didn't really deserve it nearly as bad as it got. Even if it's not great, it's not the worst thing ever, trust me.
That's not a high bar.
True, but it's better than being the worst thing ever.
But it could have been so much better.
True, but I like to think that if it's good enough,
Still got hit.
I like to.
Get out
I
of here.
try not to think about what it could be and try to think and try to perceive from what it is.
I'm about to die, aren't
It
I?
depends.
Yep. Oh, I'm still in first? Damn it. Well, I guess there's no point coming up here. Oh, I'm still getting targeted!
Well, if you get targeted, if you're in it, if you're like,
Yeah, I know. It's when it's first thrown that it determines who it fires at.
If you manage to, you can actually, like, when it's being, after it's been thrown, if you back up enough, it will actually change target. But it has to be, like, right on top of you and it'll change.
And it did not time out for me there.
Nope. Nintendo, I think, partly doesn't release a lot of its old stuff like all at once because they don't want to like oversaturate the market.
Well, there is an argument to be made about not cannibalizing their old stuff. Well, cannibalizing their new stuff by looking at the old, but I'm not sure I fully agree with that idea, though, because if your new stuff is really good, people will still buy it. Ah, damn it.
Sure, but I feel like it's just they don't like releasing too many games in 1 year.
That is fair. I mean, Xbox just used that excuse to delay one of its games. Although it is an Obsidian game they delayed, so for all we know, it's just a buggy mess.
Yeah.
I mean, Obsidian game on release? Yeah, buggy mess, guaranteed.
First place without getting hit.
That will never get. You can say anything about the Bethesda game. That will never get fixed.
Well, Bethesda, it just works all the time, clearly.
Anyway.
Yeah, that music video is so good.
Yes, it is. It just works. And by the way, when they're doing the chorus bit, that's to the theme of the Elder Scrolls theme.
Oh boy.
We don't want your endless shit bit.
Alright, so I need to change up the items now. Let's see. We had bombs and blue shells. You asked for red shells too, right?
I say we had coins.
You'll get your wish. In a way that you don't expect. I'm gonna monkey's paw that request.
Hmm. In that case, you're gonna put something else in.
Oh, I put coins in.
Oh, it's something else.
You'll understand when you see it.
And we picked the same one.
Which means it's still gonna be Baby Park, right? Yay!
Hey! Would you be willing to try a Dragon Quest game?
Huh? What was that?
Would you be willing to try a Dragon Quest game?
At some point, maybe.
It is pretty much generic fantasy, mostly, but... It's not trying to be anything super deep, usually.
As long as it knows what it is, I don't care.
See... a lot of people like... by the way, 5 is actually pretty darn funny.
Funny how?
Like, there's a bunch of, like, there's a ton of puns a lot of the time. There's also the... You hear something about a guy saying... Asking about, like there's this ogre in this lighthouse. You go in there, it's just a guy named Ogre who's... It's tired of people getting that confused and hassling him. You know,
So it likes to just play word games and whatnot, then.
There's also the drunk in the pub, where if he's waiting for the bar to open. If you go in from behind and go behind the bar, he thinks you're the bartender and goes up to ask for the and then realizes you're not the bartender and sits right back down. But the Dragon Quest can be kind of fun.
Ow.
Although, if you want to play Dragon Quest V, getting a copy of the DS Dragon Quest game can cost you an arm and a leg. You might want to emulate those.
Yeah. So, have you run into what I put down yet?
Nope.
Yes. And I love it.
What is it?
I did put coins in.
Is he talking?
Careful, red shell.
I mean, I put red shells in too, but I also put coins in, just not the way you expected. I don't know if that's the right way to throw them. Oh my god. So many explosions. Oh crap, I forgot to drift. Damn it. Ow. Why did I put red shells in here again? And why did I put the 3 spinning red shells? Only?
I don't see it. I don't see what you did. Ah, crazy hate.
Yeah, I put crazy 8. It has coins in it, right?
That's not really mine.
Wait, oh my god, what the hell?
What happened?
That's even better than I planned. I thought it would have
What
everything.
is?
I just got
It
them.
has.
That is
it has a ton of blue
hilarious.
shells. It just has a ton of blue shells.
Mine just had a ton of red shells and bombs. And then it blew up in my face. How am I an 8?
How am I almost first? No, never mind.
I went first. I went first.
Ow! I'm getting hit by everything, damn it.
Zero.
Ow. And that sent me off the edge. Thanks, guys.
You know, Ratchet & Clank has a ton of innuendos. What's your thoughts on innuendos?
Best in moderation. An occasional one here and there to catch you off guard. More than that can be excessive.
The names of the games are usually like the second game, starting with the second game, like the game's subtitle is Going Commando. It's a double entendre. Because you become a commando in it, and Going Commando is another word for.
I know.
The third game is Up Your Arsenal. And there's Deadlocked. The fifth, then it's Quest. There's Tools of Destruction, there's side game Quest for Booty. Pirate themed.
Of course. Let's see, what do I feel
Then
like?
there's A Crack in Time, which it's not one by itself, but its working title was
I don't think I've tried this one.
Block Blockers. It's A Crack in Time's working title was Block Blockers.
Of course.
Into the Nexus' working title was Into the Nether Regions.
How did we get on this topic?
Because I'm bored.
You're bored, we're playing Mario Kart, come on.
The RTS spin-off is named Full Frontal Assault.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
All I
Yeah,
heard
it
was
has a
nether
whole-
regions.
It's a lot of its titles are a lot of innuendos
ah, shoot. Should have held on to my drift.
because
Didn't even hurt me that much,
Insomniac
actually.
can be somewhat because Insomniac can be somewhat immature at times.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I
90s.
say Insomniac.
Mid
This
2000s.
was in the early 2000s.
Ah, that was
First
still a
game
lot of
came out-
that time.
Yeah. By the way,
You should have seen
Insomniac
how
is better
silly
than
the PC gaming market was in that time.
Insomniac is better than Naughty Dog.
I don't know enough about either to dispute that.
Well, Naughty Dog is boring these days because all they do is Last of Us style games.
Yeah. Although that's just Sony's MO lately, is just churn more of those out than we know what to do with, and then hope people stick around. And then wonder why Nintendo's eating our lunch.
Like Nintendo's eating everyone's lunch in the gaming industry.
Yeah. Depending on your definition, we've been in a gaming crash for the last few years.
Unless you're Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, indies are doing fine, Nintendo's doing fine. That's really where to look now.
Nintendo is just a fuck. Nintendo just knows what it does. Only because they're
Nintendo is Honey Badger.
and they're also very fucking old.
Do you even know that meme, Blue? Are you familiar with Honey Badger?
I am not familiar with that meme.
Oh, I'm
You
logging in
young-
right now. I'm like,
I am old. If I were horrifically irresponsible, I'm old enough to be at least one of your fathers.
I'm only like a few years younger than you.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you.
You said both of our fathers. You said you.
I thought I said one of you.
what did I do?
I heard.
You do
both
not
of
know
you.
you do not know the
I heard
memes of
one.
old.
I
I
do
know
know
some of
some.
them.
The memes
know
of
some
old,
too.
the
Oh,
memes of the
oh.
olden day. Just look up Honey Badger sometime. It'll make sense.
So
Alright,
your story.
Are you familiar with Boot to the Head?
What? Oh, hey, I won.
To my over-emotional sister Jenny, I bequeath a boot to the head. Another one for Wimpy husband Hank.
I am not familiar with that one.
I'll post it to Discord. It's basically a drama CD from like the series. It's a lawyer giving his will, and pretty much it gives everyone basically a boot to the head.
I've just opened up a rabbit hole, haven't I?
I will send you a copy of the Ace Attorney version.
I have just opened
So
up a
cool.
massive rabbit hole, haven't I? I'm not hearing the end of
It's
it.
funny. Oh, it's funny.
You haven't
Do
disputed
you
my
have
question.
bequeathed my wine? Yeah. You have bequeathed my wine cellar and 3 crates of my finest whiskey. Really? And a boot to the head. Another one for Jenny in the web.
What if I put like an OLED on top of my regular Switch screen
Get a Switch OLED.
and make them?
I wonder, is
Not-
the Switch 2 gonna have an OLED screen built in from the get-go?
Yeah,
Nintendo
but why
Switch
do
DS
that when they
will
can
be-
upcharge you on the upgraded model?
Yeah. Nintendo, the reason why they are so successful is they know how to, they aren't going for power.
Yeah.
That's probably partly why they
Alright, where's the blue shell? Come on,
Oh
hit
my.
me. Hit me!
You see, without Baby Park, this is why. This is
No,
like,
wait. Did you hear what happened?
Why
with
haven't I
the
been blue
boss?
shelled yet? Where's the blue shell? Come on, hit me with the damn blue shell already. That's a red shell. That's illegal. There it is. All is right with the world.
Wait, are you guys still playing?
Oh, wait, did you hear what happened with the
Wait, did you get
the
booted,
two
Blue?
bots? Did you hear
Yes.
what happened to the TF2 bots, by the way?
The what?
TF2 bots when they all got destroyed.
I heard that Valve had released a major update recently, but I hadn't heard much beyond that.
They completely banned a crap ton of bots.
Well, good to see that they eventually did something. See you in 3 years when they eventually do something else. To be fair,
I think
though,
the reason-
it's not as if we expect that sort of long-term service from literally any other game. The fact that it's still operating and that you can circumvent the issue by going to community servers that are still active.
I feel like TF2 is probably not going to get another big major update.
Oh, it's never getting... Well, I don't expect it to get a major update, no. Most likely it'll just get community updates here and there, or modding. As if it hasn't already gotten a bunch there.
Yeah, that's probably because Valve has moved on to greener pastures.
I mean, the fact that the game has lasted as long as it has.
Honestly, if TF2's economy stinks, Valve might consider making it TF3.
Even then, do they really care that much?
Probably not.
Steam is making the money hand over fist. They don't have to care about anything. They just gotta maintain what they have, and they're set for life.
I feel like it would be better if they, if Valve didn't want to make the games themselves, that'd be fine. What if they, contracted out a studio to make a Half-Life 2?
I do wish we'd eventually get a Half-Life continuation that isn't just VR. But I'm not expecting it at this point.
Would you be fine if it wasn't done by the Valve themselves? If it was done by a contract studio?
I mean, I appreciate Valve because they're making my job on trying to game on Linux easier, but still. They had to in order to get their Steam Deck working.
Would you be willing to get the, would you be willing to, release to play a Valve, game, like Half-Life 3, but it was not made by Valve themselves?
It would depend on who it was made by and what they intend to do with the story.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like there would be a massive amount.
why am I being targeted? Damn it! Okay, we're good.
I'm in first.
Ugh. Ugh.
I don't know how to get right games out of my main PC.
Ever heard of Cadence the Pyro when Nintendo worked with Ninja Studio?
I did hear about that. I remember people being very excited for it. Not a game up my alley, but glad to see it.
I feel like the reason Nintendo is picky about who they work with.
I'm kind of surprised they went for it, honestly, but hey.
At least with Nintendo, you can tell they aren't going to buy a studio and ship it for parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Microsoft and would do.
Yeah, they have a war chest and a backlog to where they can afford to be very picky.
They tend to they don't really. The other reason why people want to see new IPs. Yeah, I do too, but they don't need to make them that often.
Look. This has to be one of the best maps ever.
Did you want to do a battle mode a little bit?
Yeah, we can do a battle mode next. Although, should probably call it soon anyway. It's been going a couple hours now.
Yeah, about 2.
Huh?
About 2 hours.
What time is it?
About 9. I am anyway.
Yeah. Central time, it's 9 p.m.
And you're about 2 hours
I have
behind
the
us.
best time.
You're about 2 hours behind us. So it's about 7.
Yeah.
You were about 7.
Bearing in mind, I'm also a morning person whose body will literally force him awake at somewhere between 6 to 8. So I cannot afford to be a night owl often.
I'm a night owl. If I stay up that late, I get up at 10.
Well, I'm not like that, and I'm not in a job where I can get away with that.
I have to be at work at 8, so I can get up at 6 or 5.
Ow.
Luckily, I got some vacation. I'm good.
I can switch from a night owl to an early morning on the at the drop of a hat.
Well, I do have flexibility on when I can work, but
I could go to bed.
Oh my!
Hey! Oh, hey! Now we don't have to deal with Baby Park anymore.
right as we're switching to a battle game to close out the night. Any particular preference for the battle mode?
Random. Let's do random.
Alrighty. Random battle mode. Can I do random battle mode? Let's find out.
Because, hey, random is fun.
I can't randomize the random battle. Oh, there it is. No teams.
Yes, there is.
Normal items. We'll just do round count 5 round. That should do. Alright. Rule set is in play.
I can never choose Baby Park in my life ever again.
Like, I never.
You flew too close to the sun.
Wii. It's like, one thing is, I will say this. You know how you heard about the Smash community? community is kind of a toxic cesspool.
There's a lot of things the Smash community is.
They had the Predator controversy a few years ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't blame Nintendo not wanting to work with them.
I'm honestly impressed that someone even managed to get their attention for more than half a second.
Yeah, Panda Global, when actually that was Smash World Tour's fault because they launched their circuit early before the negotiations had finished.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that went wrong around that whole deal.
And they basically, Nintendo said, it's like, health and safety! And they just, and the guys who were, the guys who rallied up the community said that was public jargon. A guy managed to sneak in after a tournament that was run, and there were like no guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, health and safety is a big deal, so if a company cites health and safety, there's probably a good reason for that.
Mm-hmm. No baby park here, Lou. What are you gonna decide?
I was looking for something sandy, but alright. Or cheesy,
So
who
we're doing
knows?
Renegade Roundup, which will force us on the teams for this one. Because this one is designed to be can only be done in teams. It's basically cops and robbers.
Well, we get to gang up on Lou, so that's fine.
Oh, come on.
That's the
I'm
Renegades.
just an innocent person.
Here comes the police, Lou. You committed piracy.
You committed cringe.
Oh, no.
This is the cringe
That's
police.
kind of ironic.
Turn over your phone.
He's hiding out in the mansion. That's why we're here.
Gee, that's kind of
Hiding out in the
ironic,
mansion.
too.
Got one.
He's hiding out in the
Uh-oh.
mansion. That's why we're here. He can't.
Luigi caught me. Luigi caught me. No.
Get over here, Wario.
Go, free.
Got him.
Wario.
Where'd it go, huh?
No, I got stick trick. No,
Ah,
no.
almost got somebody.
Somebody opened the cell.
I gotta get out of here.
I'll check top, you check bottom.
Well, I'm on Rosalina's tail.
I just passed by baby Luigi. He just went back upstairs.
Wario time this! Oh, damn it. Didn't quite get the angle right. Got it.
You like Wario.
No, Wario.
Get back here, Ludwig. Ludwig, get back here.
I have no visibility on anything.
Me neither. Have somebody freeze them. Get back here, Pink. I just burned myself with my own fire flower.
Sounds about right. Alright, I'll just puppy guard this. Oh! Gold Peach is all that's left.
No,
Where is she?
please.
Oh, someone else got her.
No.
Wiggler. The police.
Alright,
I saw-
next round.
There's lightning outside my house. It looks like there's a storm coming.
It is
Oh,
the
nice.
storm that is approaching.
DMC5.
I'll need to get back to
The fog is
DMC at
coming.
some point.
If you play the DMC3, if you want to get like what the Switch version has, yeah, have to resort to mods because they haven't updated it sadly.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah.
What should we do for
Wasn't there a bit of
multiplayer, I guess,
DLC that didn't make it to PC as well for DMC5?
Yes, yeah, you got Virgil, but you didn't get like Dark Knight mode and all that stuff.
Capcom, when will you learn? They also didn't they also put
Yeah.
Denuvo on RE4 a few months after release, or is that a different game?
No idea. It's definitely the new RE4, not the old one.
Hiya!
I hit Wiggler.
I hit a dude.
Yeah, by the way, I feel like Capcom is kind of inconsistent on what they do.
Yeah, it seems like they can make good stuff, they just don't know what they want to make half the time.
Yeah. So what about Sega?
I don't think even Sega knows what Sega does.
What about Namco?
I don't know enough about them.
I wouldn't say they're great, but they
Oh.
do at least Nintendo works a lot with Bandai Namco.
I mean, they were the primary developers on Smash Bros. Well, at least
They
Ultimate.
recently yes, and Smash 4.
That explains the consistency between them.
They also released and also Ultimate was built off of Smash 4.
Oh, I almost ran into a banana. That would have been smart.
Ultimate was a quick Ultimate. The reason why people were like Ultimate didn't have to rollback was because it released. It was basically the game Smash 4 was not built for rollback, and adding rollback to a game it had unforeseen consequences, and it was also a pain you have to implement. Especially for a game that doesn't have it built in from the start. Also, Nintendo doesn't really see Smash as a competitive game. They see it more as a party game.
Well, if you turn items on, it definitely is a party game.
That's probably how they see it mostly. They don't really see it, they see it as a... So, it makes sense why they don't really... Like, they're partially hesitant to support it because of that.
I'd be hesitant too.
Especially with how they... By the way, Splatoon, the team that won the...
How did I hit you, Lou?
Recently got their... The
I don't know.
people who won the Splatoon 3 World Championship recently, they got their win revoked.
Yeah, didn't they say something that got a lot of people upset? I didn't look into the details.
They said some really racist stuff.
Well, how racist is really racist? Because that can mean a lot depending on which part of the internet you're on.
They said N-words and swears.
Ah, they went that far, huh? Fair enough.
Yes.
I can understand not wanting to be. Damn it!
They're getting...
That's the first time I've gotten hit this round, actually. Huh. Don't take away my bananas, how dare you!
Also getting the banner that...
I got bananas?
That's getting removed in a later update. The banner that allows for the... that would memorialize them in the game is getting removed in a future update. Basically,
Did I win? I won!
They're getting their wins corrupt from the internet. And hey, if you're gonna act like a jerk, you get your just desserts.
I mean, I get that trash talking is an art form, but there's a time and place for that. A Nintendo game is not that time or place. Unless it's Smash Bros, because those people don't have any chill.
They also, Splatoon does not have voice chat. At least in-game voice chat, but I think I get why they don't do that.
Yeah, because that's a whole nightmare. Call of Duty on Xbox scared a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like...
There's a certain beauty to it, but it's definitely really something that... Well, if it's opt-in, I don't mind.
I feel like you should always have the ability to opt out.
Yeah.
Call of Duty on the Xbox.
As long as...
Nintendo, it's like... And Nintendo said, yeah, you got Discord and Skype, you just use those.
Bombs and bombs alone, huh? This will be interesting.
This is Bomb Blast! This is Bomb Blast, which
honestly,
is originally from Double Dash.
Well, honestly, as far as anti-harassment policies and whatnot are concerned, I probably well, I need to be careful what I say, because that does go a little beyond my remit as just a game review guide, but as far as I can tell, it's an unsolvable problem, because eventually you get used to... Why did I think following Luigi was a good idea? Eventually you get used to your current circumstances to where something else will upset you. Or...
I think Nintendo mostly just said, screw it, it's like, screw it, you're gonna be jerks and we're not gonna give you anything.
Yeah, and honestly, there's just... Well, how do you prevent someone from being mean? And that is the part of the problem you'll run into. Where there is competition, there's... Of course.
Well, one way is to prevent them from talking to each other.
Oh.
Yeah, but at that point... Outside of giving people the option to mute or block, there's not much you can necessarily do if you are going to provide that kind of feature.
Are we gonna continue or not?
Yeah, let's try to finish one out.
Yeah.
By that logic, we're gonna be here forever.
Alright, we'll sit still in place. I control how many rounds. Oh my gosh, you can go 25 rounds for the round count? What the hell? That's insane.
I wish they would
update
the race count, that you could update it to be there are as all the cups, all the racetracks, so you could do a all-cup tour. Double Dash had something called an all-cup tour where you would do all the cups from like in the game. It only had 4 cups. It would always start with Luigi Circuit and end with Rainbow Road, but every other track in between was randomized.
Interesting.
But it would always begin at Luigi Circuit, the first track of the game, and end with Rainbow Road. Which I think is fine. Because those 2 tracks are probably most fitting for the beginning and end. Basically, it'd be like, if you start the game with Mario Coliseum and Mario Kart Stadium, and you end the game with
Coin runners, huh?
The base game's Rainbow Road. Yeah.
Remind me, just collect coins, right?
Yep. Coins galore! And try not to get hit.
So the usual then.
But you
I
can't
avoided
get
getting munched pretty well last time around, so I think I'll be okay.
So originally, this track actually in the GameCube version has the same as the game's Bowser's Castle.
Excuse me while I grab these.
The
One of them
song,
anyway.
the song that's playing right now is actually from the Luigi's Mansion Course from Mario Kart DS, the racetrack. The remix of it.
Ah, man, I keep missing these coins, damn it. Then I almost hit myself with my own shell. I am intelligent. I am clearly the right person to be critiquing a strategy game.
I think you might like Triangle Strategy, but Triangle Strategy does have a golden route. You have to do very specific...
Why did I run into that?
In Triangle Strategy, to get the golden ending, you have to do very specific strategies in a very specific route and make specific choices. And you will not be able to get those choices on a first playthrough.
I wouldn't expect to be able to anyway, even if there is a quote golden route.
Yeah, it's like you can actually when you have to convince others to make it. When you make decisions, you have to convince other people to make a decision. So you have to get like information.
Rude! Oh, look who I can steal from.
One of the early things is: do you give the prince up? Do you give the prince to the invading empire, or do you keep it and fight with it?
Ow!
And the party is split on it, and you have to come to a decision on it. Using this, and you basically have to vote in the end on what you're going to do. Do you give him up to the enemy, or do you not? Or do you resist?
I mean, my gut instinct is, I don't know, well, I mean, I don't know the circumstance, but my gut instinct is, why would I give this guy up?
They said that the person actually also wants to get a super piece as part of it. Story.
Well,
I can't explain it without spoilers. It's not the first decision choice. The first one's actually a relatively low stakes decision. Do you go to this kingdom or this kingdom when you're escorting these people back?
Yeah, but Three Houses had that sort of, quote, low-stakes decision at the start, and look how that turned out. It's the low stakes ones you have to watch out for half the time.
Yeah, this one doesn't really affect the story too much. It just changes what character you recruit when you go to that kingdom. And it's not a plot relevant character. It's a character that yeah.
I did better than I expected.
There are technically 4 endings trying a strategy. Also,
and probably a bunch of different ways that your characters can turn out.
Unlike in Triangle Strategy, unlike like Fire Emblem where each character where it goes your phase, enemy phase, it goes by speed.
Oh, so it's more Shining Force then?
Yeah. Though there is it's like that. It's like FF, it's more FF Tactic because it uses an isometric perspective.
Well, still, same idea for the turn order.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it also uses height in like you can get a height advantage by standing on a tile that's higher up than your opponent.
Which is why they go isometric.
Yeah, so they can use like you can also backstab people by attacking them from behind. Or the sides even.
They actually do consider a character's orientation then? Interesting.
Yes. If you can also like have one character in front and have someone backstab them, and then the other person in front will then attack them right after.
Alright, we can't let Mario have this shine. Where is he?
Basically, if the
Jeez.
basically if you have can't be tested now. Like if like what you place one character in front, and then you can also knock people off of cliffs.
Mine!
You can also
Excuse
knock
me while I
someone-
run the hell away!
You can also knock people off cliffs. Basically, you have an enemy and they're like you can like use an attack that has knockback and knock them off the edge.
Damn it! Not fast enough. Where is it? Going that way. Got it.
Villager has it. I think you would like triangle strategy.
Obligatory eventually. I will keep saying the eventually.
Three Houses is not the first tactics game to actually do the multiple reps thing. Tactics Ogre also did that. That was PS1 or SNES. And that was influenced, and that one is your character's decisions. And it's more of a rap. Like, in Triangle Strategy,
Ooh! Ah, damn it!
utility, morality, and liberty.
Oh no, you don't, Daisy. That's mine. And I get hit by somebody else's shell instead.
I stole it!
Wonder who's the closest to actually max... well, holding on to it long enough.
I had it in 14.
Damn it. Missed. Alright, I need to get ahead of you somehow. Let's see if I timed it out properly. No, don't take it, Lou! Hiya! Didn't quite time it out right now.
This place would get... I get the feeling this place would give you cavities. Leave it.
Ah, overshot.
Also, I'll just say this. Triangle Strategy can use kind of Game of Thrones at times.
Huh? Crap.
Triangle Strategy. But one of the early plot points, this is an early plot point, the king gets murdered.
Oh, come on. We're not gonna let Toad win, are we?
Yes.
Oh my god. Hit him already! Ah! He held on to it for so long, damn it.
Toad deserves it. I mean, he's been like suffering for like all these
Since you're
years.
experimenting with Secret, are you going to experiment with any of the 3DS Fire Emblems?
Awakening I'm considering, Shadows of Valencia I'm considering. Fates, if it's anything like
no.
Engage, I will hate.
What about Codename Steam? That's also on 3DS.
I've heard that game is very silly.
It's also not. I've also heard it's not really well balanced.
That would fall into being very silly, I suppose, but not exactly what I was thinking
Also,
of.
if you have the amiibo, if you have Fire Emblem amiibo, you can actually recruit Fire Emblem characters.
I have a amiibo.
Like Marth, Robin, Lucina, Ike, Smash ones.
I have the Byleth one. Because of course I do.
I have Robin, Samus, Link Smash, Palutena, and Link Breath of the Wild.
Ow!
Oh, and I also have the Noah and Neo amiibos for Xenoblade 3. Which I keep separate from the other three. Although my Robin amiibo doesn't work.
I hit 2 people out of that? Okay, I'll take it. Ow!
I
Skull.
own a bunch of Skylanders. I own a lot of Skylanders.
Are those even worth anything nowadays? Is that even still a thing?
Probably. Series is ended, I can tell you that much. Ended with the 6th game. Let's see. Crow's Adventure, Giants, Swap Force, Trap Team, Superchargers, and Imaginators. Yeah, that's 6 games. There's 6 games in 7 series.
Where do all my shells go?
I stopped buying it after the third game. By the way,
Ha! It worked!
Crash Bandicoot, you will die a lot, but especially in the
Yeah, I know not to play that one on stream. That's how I get called a game journalist.
You will die a lot, but you also gain lives, so the fact that it doesn't really matter. Lives don't really matter because you will gain them so fast.
The checkpoints do seem fairly merciful, but the platforming doesn't appear very merciful.
Crash 4 to 100% is a nightmare.
Yes, so I've heard.
With the insanely perfect relics, it requires you to get all the gems minus the hidden gem in one life.
That sounds
Which is
pain.
already really hard to do. Yes. It's also just...
Ow.
Crash
Oh,
games
hell.
have always been harder. Crash games are always much harder to do when you 100% them. Crash 4 is just to an obnoxious degree. It's a good game, but don't bother trying to 100% it if you don't want to. I've beaten the main game, and that's pretty much all I care.
Given my efficacy at ah, damn it! Well, I was winning! Ow.
I sidelined Lou, at least. I think Wendy's winning. Let me see.
Fire randomly, and doesn't matter.
I'm still impressed that they managed to get Xenoblade 1 working on the 3DS.
Yeah.
It's not the best version of the game to play, no, it is not. But it's still an impressive ability.
And before someone makes a GBA demake.
Yeah, I don't think no one's done that. Xenoblade 1 is less focused on world building and more on its themes. What do you think of that? Xenoblade 1 is less focused on it's on its world building and more on the themes of its writing.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. Okay,
That's not
trying to
entirely
avoid
that's
getting
not an-
caught.
Theme-based writing is not a bad way to write if you're writing pretty good. The story is making
Nope, nope, stay away! Stay away!
who have committed a crime.
I have committed the sin, yes. Are you the devil from the Bible or something? Ow, damn it, I walked right into that one.
I'm the complete. I'm the fuzz. I'm the JRPG.
Oh, damn it. It is hard to avoid 6 people.
This mode is fun.
Admittedly, it did take us a while in order to catch all 6, so...
Yeah, this is basically complicated.
No! Damn it.
Games are not allowed to use
I got used.
Oh, come on. Let me go, I didn't do nothing wrong. Tax evasion isn't that bad, come on.
I'm starting to slow down here.
I noticed, and I hate you for it.
Man.
Come on, Waluigi, come on.
You're not gonna catch me alive.
Oh, you stopped guarding it for 1 second, and now I'm free.
I got Village.
You're not gonna catch me alive?
You'll never take me alive! Meh.
You reject your reality
Movie.
and substitute your reality.
Something like that. Ah, crap. I'm getting
got
caught.
Don't worry.
I'm getting caught way too
Oh, no.
often.
That was me who caught you.
I know, and I
No.
hate it.
I'm stuck with some crazy person. Help me.
Hello.
Help, I'm stuck
Hello
with a
there.
crazy person.
Like, hello there.
Hello there.
By the way,
He's very bad at games. Help me, please.
as I was
General
talking about
Kenobi.
writing, what do you think of theme-based writing?
Huh?
As I was talking, it's writing more for the themes than for your world.
As long as it
Come
makes
on,
sense,
come on,
I'm not
Billy,
gonna
come on,
complain
Billy.
too much. Oh, hey, thank you.
Focusing more on the theme. Do you know like what is more theme-based?
I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing in my own writing right now.
Okay, all rest is. What do you think of compared to? You prefer Fodlan, but what is one thing all rest does better than Fodlan? Is like in terms of his writing and world.
Say again?
What do Fodlan and Ulrus do better than each other? Ulrus does some things better than Fodlan does.
Let's see. Fodlan is a lot more grounded, explicitly because the stakes aren't world-ending. So it's so it's easier to get invested in it by virtue of that. So
Ulrus has more.
all the rest is more fleshed out when it comes to the individual nations.
Yeah, because I could tell you something about more Dane than I can tell you about Adrestia.
Well, you can tell. Well, you have a general sense for the nobility of Fodlan as a whole, and you have slight variations in the different flavoring. I.e., they all value the crest system. They all and to be fair, it does basically grant you superpowers, as we see with Dimitri. But even so,
Yeah, blades are important to all nations, but they put different emphasis on them. And Moradane is a more technological power, while Oriah is more natural.
Are we actually about to go through like a whole series without crashing?
We've done it before.
Not on my watch.
Now that you're blind.
you wanted to jinx it again, didn't you?
Yes. Maybe. No.
Oh, I got somebody. Nice.
This crater really should have way more craters after all these explosions.
Oh man, imagine a battle mode with destructible terrain. That would be hilarious.
What do you think about F-Zero? Also, I will say, Ulrich still has a bigger sense of, I get a more sense of the scale of the nation.
Well, yes and no though, because due to the nature of the gameplay, everywhere feels claustrophobic, which is sort of the point given the whole running out of living space and whatnot, but it feels like it's overdone in that aspect.
True, but Xenoblade 2 has a lot of vertical power.
So does the Bionis by that definition.
Sure.
I guess I'll have to see what the third game has to say for itself eventually.
By the way, if you're playing X, the character you play as is more of an MMO protagonist, in the sense that they affect events, but they aren't really the main character in terms of plot.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
More the ally
Ow.
and the action of the story. Which is really Elma. That's why Elma showed up.
Well, also, if you've got a customizable character, you can't necessarily have them be the rep anyway.
Yeah.
Hi!
I'll say this. Also, Xenoblade X, they have mechs. They have a mech base. You can fly. Also, in terms of gameplay, X is like a more complicated version of Xenoblade 1's combat system.
Unsurprising, perhaps, given the circumstances.
Yeah, it's a... Also, there is no dedicated...
Stop chasing me!
In X, there is no dedicated shield.
Ow! Oh, there go half of mine.
By the way, in X, there is no dedicated shield. You have something called Soul Voices, which it gives you healing, but they also do much else. It's not exactly... X's combat is not exactly explained, especially the overdrive.
You chased me at your own peril, Lou!
Basically, to sum up the overdrive, it's basically
One
it
day.
exists. It basically tells you it exists and tells you nothing about how to use it. It tells you how to activate it, and that's pretty much all it tells you. Also,
At least it doesn't give you explicit misinformation, perhaps, but... Why do you keep trying to pursue me, Lou?
Also, they changed what blade means.
Oh no.
It's different in between the Japanese and English version. There's a change. Blade means something completely else. Still after this, but blade does not stand. In English, it says builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. It means something else in Japanese.
I got pretty close to first. Nice. I'll take it.
Toad one?
Toad one. I'll take second.
I'll take whatever place it got 7th. Yeah, I'll take 7th.
Will you now? Top of the bottom
Yes.
half.
Stuff quick. In English, the blade stands in the blade in English. It says builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth, but in Japanese it was originally beyond the logos, artificial destiny, emancipator.
That is nonsense. Oops.
Well,
that was
it's,
loud.
so it usually there is a meaning for it.
I just remember I've got desktop volume going. Sorry about that, boys. That was loud.
Yeah, and I guess that's it for tonight.
Yeah, I think that's where we'll call it. So,
Yeah.
either way,
By the
thank
way,
you for the night.
logos. By the way, if you want to know something, logos is Numa is the id, logos is the ego and is the super ego and or ego, I forget which one, and Antos is the other one.
Very specific. Eventually I'll find out what that'll refer to more, maybe. Not that we'll be seeing Malos again.
One thing is, this is not Antos. Think of him like an arbiter.
A what?
Arbiter. You
I'm
know
trying
what
to
that
think if
means.
I'm trying to think if that's a reference to something specific or in a more general sense.
Do you know what the term arbiter means?
Yes.
That's what Antos' role is
Okay.
within the Trinity processor.
No wonder why things went haywire.
Yeah, because he's meant to take information from Logos and Numa and then make a decision.
And instead he got stuck between Zenza and Mayneth.
It's sort of filled in a pseudo wavelength.
Yeah. Either way,
They're not exactly the same, but they fill similar roles.
Mhm.
He has to take. This is why the world could not move on in Xenoblade 1, because he was getting two different sets of information. And he could not make a decision.
Well,
Anyway.
whatever the case may be, there we are. So,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and do
Basically,
my outro, and then we'll call it there.
Alright, I'll block out of Discord then.
Alrighty, but thanks for joining us. And he's already gone. Well then. Alrighty, may as well back out myself. Alrighty, see you around, Lou.
Alright, see ya.
Alright then, I guess. Actually, I can't remember if I can safely exit the menu. You know what? Easy solution. I'll just mute the Switch audio. Perfect. Now I can just have it open like this and be just fine. So, now that this has been seen to, this was at the request of Gilgamesh that we do it early because his birthday's in a few days. So there we are. So, now that that's been seen to, let's just go over what the schedule's going to look like for at least the next month and for the foreseeable future. Short version, in a little over a week, I'm going to be dealing with an IRL schedule change. That means I'm going to not have as much time for editing. And because of that, I'm going to be, once that Golden Sun is concluded, I will be reclaiming my Friday nights for, well, myself, basically, so I can recover from the shenanigans that will likely ensue. To that end, as of right now, I'm expecting that we'll be finished with our playthrough of Shadow Warrior within the next couple of weeks, and I know for a fact we'll be finished with Golden Sun by the 23rd of this week, well, this month. And I know this because I decided that since I wanted to go looking for all the remaining Jin and all the other secrets and whatnot, all the side content, I figured it would be fairly scattershot, so it made sense to me to record the remainder offline. My Let's Play editing efforts are going to be exclusively focused on that to make sure it gets done on time. And especially since, if things time out properly, that means that August 24th will be the start of another game. And if you want to know what that other game is, I had a plan to look at a few smaller games before this sudden change in my schedule showed up on the horizon. But I've decided to go for something more long-term, and you will know exactly what that game is following, well, once the Golden Sun Let's Play is over. The very last bit of that video, you'll know what I intend to bust out. That's all I'll say. So, hopefully, the timing will work out to my favor. Hopefully it'll work out as I expect. Otherwise, it's going to be a little disappointing on my side. Although, I may gun for it anyway, given the circumstances. Or I might just attempt to barrel through Shadow Warrior more quickly to make sure that gets done. Either way, I'll make the timing work. So for now, that'll be all from me. So I don't know when we'll next do one of these community nights, since that we are doing a more long-term game. I suspect that there may be more opportunities for both variety nights and multiplayer community nights as we look to the future, because I've got an idea in mind. I mentioned it at some point during the stream that I think it would be cool, since that in a little over a year, the end of support date for Windows 10 is going to be approaching. And unless Microsoft does something crazy with Windows 11 that warrants moving over to that, or brings out Windows 12 from out of nowhere, and that proves to be worth moving to, it doesn't really make sense to me to continue on the Windows train, because especially with what they both tried asking for, such as saying, hey, you don't mind if we take constant screenshots of your desktop, right? Yes, I do mind. That is a performance and privacy concern just waiting to happen. But not only what they tried to get through, but also what they effectively force you to do, such as setting up an account with Microsoft in order to actually log in, which you can circumvent that, and I think there is a way to circumvent even some of the hardware restrictions, but if I'm having to finagle that much for a simple, well, I'm having to finagle that much for an operating system, I may as well just make the jump to Linux. So my thinking is, at some point, I don't know when yet, because I need to stockpile the money to replace probably at least my SSD, since that it's getting on in years, or if not outright, create a backup PC with some spare parts and just use it as an excuse to upgrade both my SSD and motherboard. But at some point, I'll need to sit down and get all that sorted. And once I do, I want to make a point of going through on stream and saying, hey, here's my Linux desktop. Here's me attempting to get every game in my library, or at least as close to every game in my library as possible, working in Linux. I think that'd be really cool. It's just a matter of when I'd be able to start that up, both as far as IRL time constraints as well as when I can get my computer set up for same. Because I'm not quite ready to jump into that pit just yet. Because I think at this point, it makes sense for me, since I've got enough spare parts lying around, to just use it as an excuse to do a more general upgrade of my PC's motherboard and main operating system disk. And while I'm at it, I have enough spare parts where I can just use that as an excuse to improve my PC a little bit, at least the main one I'll be using, and then have my current one act as a backup. That's the plan anyway, so we'll see if it ends up working out as such. For now then, that is still a long-term plan, but I am having to look more long-term scale right now because of the circumstances, so we'll see what I'm allowed. Fortunately, this will not have any effect on Switch games because OBS works under Linux, so all I would need to do is replace my interior capture card with something that's actually has Linux drivers, and that'll be just fine. And honestly, there's plenty of good exterior options anyway that are more generalized anyway, so I'm not too worried about the specifics. For now then, thank you all for stopping by. Next time we jump into a live stream, it'll be Shadow Warrior, at least at this time next week. Next time we're throwing something up in general, it's just going to be the usual Let's Play content, as well as Golden Sun wrapping up over the next 3 Fridays. Till then, thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you all later.